everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another Saturday night stream here on the channel. If you don't know, my name is TAETRO. Welcome. Happy to have you all here tonight. We are basically doing a kind of part 2 tonight. We're doing some mixing, arranging, and mastering. So if finishing a track is something that you struggle with, this is the stream for you, because we are going to be like going ahead with 2 beats because you all voted and it landed as a tie. You voted on the 2 beats to finish last stream, and we've got 2 of them. So we're going to go through the arrangement process. Potentially, we're going to take the loops and the sounds that we made, try to expand them across the arrangement, maybe add new sounds and stuff to them. And then we're going to mix them, and then we're going to master them using LANDR's AI mastering, which today's stream is, again, sponsored by LANDR. There's also a link in the description where you can all get 35% off. Using the code, which I should have pinned to the chat again, but I forgot. But hey, in the description, there's the code. First 100 of the subscribers to use it, you can get 35% off LANDR samples or LANDR mastering. And we're going to demo the mastering today. Last stream, we worked exclusively with LANDR samples and their sample plugin that works in your DAW, which we're going to continue to do today as we build up these tracks a little bit more. And it should be a good time. I was struggling. I was a little late because I was struggling with these technical issues. My mouse will not connect even though it says it will, so I might do a quick restart before we really get into it. But I want to say hello to everybody who's here. Hello chat, how are you? What's going on? I see Dex, what's going on? A lot of people early. Korean Jesus, annyeonghaseyo. Suru, Nathan, Larry Duke, Ed, One Moment in Time, T-Sol Beats, what's going on? Thomas, Emilio, Star Stuff, Arya, Vibe Sound, Sam. Shout out to all my members with the green names and the cool icon next to their name in chat. Love that. Thank you for all your support, members. Sam, just McCaffrey holding it down as usual. STK, what's going on? My mom is in chat. My dad is in chat. Hello. Benjamin Deemers, Taylor Deemer. Now, it's spelled slightly differently, Taylor and Benjamin, but could you possibly be related? I smell a conspiracy. Jacob Marino, hello. The Counselor, CME Group 23. Thank you all. Vibe Sounds. Sorry if I skip your name. I'm trying to catch up. We're here. Motion Esso, what's up? I am ready. I missed the end of last stream. What beats made the cut? I really like the first one. Well, you're in luck because the first one did make the cut. What's up, Uric? Yes, so like I was saying, I want to run a poll where everybody can vote on what beat we start with, but maybe we should refresh our ears and our memory. This is so annoying that this is not working. Okay, but let's refresh our memory. Oh, obviously I have my MPK here today. Let me get off of this chat window. Huge flex with my new Pikachu keychain. And we're working in Ableton live as usual. And I've got the 2 beats loaded here. The 2 beats that pretty much won by a mile. Nobody voted for beat B pretty much. Well, some people did. I won't say nobody. But an equal amount of people voted for beats A and beats B. So let's listen to what it sounds like. I have them just a quick loop exported so that we don't have to open up the whole project and everything. What up, Connor Edwards? Hello. So let's listen to this back. This is beat A. We're going to work on this one today. I'm going to ask you all to tell me which one to start with. Hey, teacher, are you going to be using the LANDR Samples plugin? Yes, I will. We also did that all last stream. Okay, so that is beat A. And this is beat B. Let's see how it sounds. A little moodier, I would say. Now, we're going to get to both of these today, but I need y'all to tell me which one we're going to start with. Let this play out once more. Then I'll do a quick play-by-play, and then Joseph McCaffrey is going to drop the straw poll link in the chat. Let's set that to a 5-minute poll so we don't end up in a situation like last time. So this is A. And this is B. Straw poll is up, my friends. Please take a moment to go ahead and vote in that. And I'm going to quickly restart my computer while we do that. So we can just chat. I'm not going to save that plugin. That's going to do its thing. But yes, let me know. Beat B is a little bit moodier. Beat A is a little more like upbeat, like you're, what did I say, like skating on the beach or something. Hey, what's up, STK? Going to be rewatching later. No worries, no worries. Respect. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. And yeah, me and Joseph McCaffrey both got vaccinated, which is exciting. No real side effects on my end, some soreness, and then I was a little feverish last night and was like got the chills and was sweating in the middle of the night. That's the only side effect I can speak on. And today I'm feeling much better. Obviously my arm's a little sore from the shot, but today I think I'm back to 100. I don't think the condition will take a dip after already being what it was last night. Joseph McCaffrey got a little bit harder than I did, I think. He was, his symptoms extended into today, but I don't think anything too debilitating. All right, vote in that straw poll. Joseph McCaffrey posted the link. He spammed it in the chat, so there's no way you could have missed it. You're voting on which beat we're starting with today. We will, of course, be doing both beats. However, the one we start with is important. And I'll take questions while we're in this little lull while my computer restarts. Rahir, how long have you been making beats? Tough to say. Well, I've been making music since I was like 14. But making beats specifically, I don't know. Electronic music, like by the time I got to college, I was making electronic music. Even when I was in high school a little bit, I was making electronic music. I don't know. It's evolved over time, you know? Ooh, is everything going to pop up just like it did before? Cool. All right, my friends. How's that poll doing? I should bring it up, huh? I guess I could bring it up on screen. Is my mouse working? Of course not. Of course not. Oh, the Bluetooth's not on. That would be why. All right, big fingers crossed, chat. My mouse is connected. That's what I like to see. All right, I'm bringing up the stream so I can look at the chat. And I'm opening straw poll. Let's do it. I just want to see the results. I'm not going to vote. Whoa. Beat A is... how do I know when the beat is... when the poll is over, or is the poll closed already? Somebody let me know. How does straw poll work? That'd be great. But nonetheless, here we are with our poll. It looks like beat A is going to win, or has won. I'll wait for Joseph McCaffrey to give me the A-OK on whether or not the poll has closed, because I don't really know how this works. No, don't play from iTunes. What are you doing? We're off to a great start here today. But yeah, thanks. No problem. We're here. Hoping it goes well. Trying to be patient with my progress. Oh, are we talking about evolution? Got my Arturia Mini Lab Mark II, says Star Stuff. Also learning music theory on Skillshare, so I'm excited. Amazing. Did you use my Skillshare link is the question with the free trial. I hope so. Support the sponsor, support the channel. Yeah, put out a video on Friday. Hopefully it's helpful to a lot of you that have MIDI keyboards. But yes, I think this poll has closed officially. And we are going to go ahead and start with beat A, which I believe was the more upbeat beat. Upbeat beat. So yeah, let's do that. And then we're going to master. I'm excited about the mastering because you all know I have my mastering chain, but I literally don't know what I'm doing. I just made a mastering chain and it kind of worked. Kind of works for most of the things I make. This is obviously LANDR. This is what we'll be using. And it's as easy as like kind of uploading your music, and then it processes it, and then it gives you a bunch of options. So I'm excited to play with these. You can even upload a reference track, but I don't have any music downloaded, so I'm probably not going to demo that. But we will be able to do like an A/B test and see what you guys think of the master that it generates. It should be fun. I think the thing about it is I don't want to become a mastering engineer. My thing is like I want to just like kind of make music and do as much as possible. But like really getting into the science of mixing and mastering, I want to know the basic skills to get my music to sound good enough so that I can be self-sufficient. And if there's a service like LANDR that works well, which we'll see if it works well tonight, then that takes me out of having to, you know, become a mastering professional, you know? Good to hear you are good after the shot, teacher. Yeah, good, surviving here. I was like slightly like, oh, what if I do get a little sick and I couldn't do the stream or something? But it was not an issue. Now if I hit this play button again, perfect, it worked. All right. So much talking, not enough beat making. And let me tell you, we didn't even use this, whatever it is, but I remember being excited about it. Let's unsolo this stuff. I think I did that to be fancy. That's our original chords. We could probably use that for an intro. All right. So Skillshare is so nice. Sometimes I catch myself learning how to create patterns for pillows just because. That's funny. Awesome. Well, you already have 2 months free for being a student. That's great. Hey, Drunk Bishop. All right, everybody. So the main process here, we will be, of course, adding new sounds to this, I assume. But the gist of it is, I think we can all relate to this. You make this nice 8-bar loop. I mean, in this case, it's pretty much just a 4-bar loop. But then what do you do? Like, how do you make that into a track? We have 10 seconds of music here. I guess we could just like let it play and play and play, but that doesn't sound too productive. So we got to now start thinking about our arrangement. Now I have this here, but I'm going to turn this track off. Just our original loop that I might want to use for an intro. So speaking of intro, let's talk about sections. I tend to follow, and we sampled that, so I can get rid of that. I tend to follow a pretty stereotypical like pop song structure where you have like an intro, a verse, a pre-chorus, and a chorus, and then that repeats: verse, pre-chorus, chorus. Throw in something like a bridge maybe, and then an end chorus. Now, it doesn't always work out that way with instrumental music, I find, especially not with some of this beat music. Sometimes it's a lot simpler. But that's sort of how I think about song structure. So I'm just taking this entire section and loop that I made and just moving it over. We're going to pull pieces of it over to start. But like I kept saying, let me start with this original loop. What do we have on the master, by the way? We have an EQ. So that's our original loop that we sampled and chopped. Let me see if we can just mess with it a bit to give it more of an intro-y kind of vibe. By that, I mean we'll do some filtering. We'll add some reverb to it. And this might not even be exactly how the song starts. We might be able to make it sound, I don't know, we might be able to add even more to the intro. As usual, if you have questions as the stream goes on, please drop them in chat, because I'll try my best to answer them. If I miss a question, don't spam, but it's okay to, if I miss it and 5 minutes go by or something, to put it again. Get some low end out of here. There's like that air on the sample. Kind of honing in on that. Okay. Nothing too crazy yet, but this will make for a good intro, and this will probably repeat. But what should come in next? Oh, one thing I was going to see, and by the way, this is the LANDR sample plugin. So this is all the sounds that you hear in this project right now are a LANDR sample. We either sampled them and turned them into instruments, or we just grabbed the sounds. But one thing I wanted to see was if there's any like field recordings here on LANDR. So do you guys feel like this is a daytime beat or a nighttime beat? Because I could go either way. And if there's no field recordings on here, then I will probably use my own. Oh, what's this? Here. Remembering also that, nice, they do have field recordings. That's great. Yeah, feeling nighttime. I see him 2 nighttimes popped up in the chat first. That's great. Let's see what they have here, just so we can show it off. Tennessee. Somebody lives in Tennessee. So this plugin, just a reminder, puts samples in the same key as your project, and it also adapts to your DAW's BPM, which is very useful. Ooh, this one has rain in it. Let's hear that. I'm just looking for something to set the tone, be like a little mood setter at the beginning here. Whoa, let's hold up because we got our first member of the evening.
Star Stuff.
Thank you so much for joining the community. I really appreciate it. Means a lot. Make sure you link your Discord and your YouTube account. There's a link in your perks description. But thank you so much, Star Stuff. I appreciate that. We have been growing and growing this community of 150 members. I think it's really exciting. Okay, that bird is a little obnoxious. But thank you so much, Star Stuff. Yeah, if you're interested in joining, becoming a VIP member, get you a free sample pack too, but any tier gets you access to the Discord, so you can connect with a bunch of people from this community. So that's really dope. Just got the Mini 3. That's how I found the channel. Amazing. I think I'm going to search rain specifically because I want a rainy sound. 200 when? Good question, Taylor. Very good question. All right, these are going to be... Let's see if these are actual field recordings or if they are something else. I think it's warping it probably. You just made it, Benjamin? I thought you were here earlier too. Oh, I'll take that. Oh, there's birds in it because there's a watermark on these samples. That's why. The birds are not actually there. I was like, why would they have birds in a nighttime sample? That's their way of watermarking their sounds. But you can hear in this, there are no longer... Are there birds? No. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Just wanted to loop the sound. I'm going to crossfade these so it's a little more natural. Same thing here, crossfading. And then we're going to fade it out. All right, so this is just one way to move to, how do I say? One way to set the mood. We've got our 8-bar intro here. Now I probably want to grab something rhythmic by bar 5. My whole theory on songwriting and arrangement and stuff is you want to keep things moving 4 bars at a time. So I go bars 1 through 4, 5 through 8, etc. And you'll start to see the pattern flow like that. Or else, and whatever pace you set, your listener comes to expect, you know? Oh, we have a top loop that we used. Okay, great. Isn't LANDR a mastering tool? Yes, Benjamin, but they also have a full-on sample library, and we're gonna be using the mastering tool later. Could we filter this in? I just want to hear how this sounds. Yeah. So I'll probably automate that. So let's say that's going to come back in here. But for this one, for this section here, we're going to just want to automate that. So filtering. And they do distribution as well, Motion SO. Yes, good point. Hi, Bob. Happy Saturday to you as well. What's going on? Now, I probably want the backbeat to come in after that. And we can ditch this sample in lieu of the same exact sample, but we have it chopped a little bit differently. So let's hear what this transition sounds like. We might want something a little more. Now that's a fine transition, but I think we can make it better and maybe more dramatic. So one thing I like to do is on beat 4. See that says 8.4 because that's beat 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. I'm going to drop the sounds. So I'm going to drop that. And it's to taste, but if you notice, let me just solo this sound. It has reverb. So even after the sound cuts off, it's got that tail, that reverb tail. You can get rid of that by just turning the track off, which makes the dropouts more dramatic. Listen to the difference. And I'm not sure if I liked the rain staying there, but let's try the same technique, only I'm just going to automate that beat off, like that. So then we get total silence for that beat, which is very dramatic. Now I do want to break that silence actually. And with our drum kit here, what I'm going to do is insert an empty MIDI clip and just have a snare hit there. Let me turn this on so we can monitor our sounds. That's it. That's all I want. And that makes for a slightly more entertaining transition than it would if we had just, you know, not done this little drop and we had just moved on to the next set of loops. So, got our nice little intro here. Click join. Yes, click join. How can I become a member? What are the benefits? Yes, any members in chat, please answer Vic's question. It's sample pack, Discord community, members only stream. What did I just do? I soloed a track for no reason. Cool. So we have an intro. Ah, yes. And if you click join, it tells you the perk. It doesn't like automatically sign you up for it. Great. So we have that now. I'm excited. We've got like our basic groove going. So I'm going to duplicate the drums across, the drums and the percussion, as well as the sample chops. And like I said before, every 4 bars, we're going to add something new. You'll probably start to notice this in music that you listen to. Like start paying attention to the structure of the music and the beats that you listen to, and start counting things out. Like how many bars? Like if you count from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So that was 4 bars. We want change. That's kind of how we count bars in music for anybody who is new to that concept. Bars are 4 beats in most cases, and that's a simple way to count them along with the tempo. So what do we want to bring in next? I don't even remember what pieces we have here. That could work. I want to save the vocal sample for sure, so I'm not quite ready to bring that in. I'm going to move everything over as we go. We have that little sampled guitar sound that fits really well. So now that we're moving into our next section, we've had this backbeat going for 16 bars. What do you say we drop the kick? So I'm going to take this existing loop that we have and get rid of the kick. And let's reduce even more. So the first time the drums come in, look at how many hits there are in the pattern, and let's listen back to it. So we have closed hi-hat, other than our kick and our snare, which are our main backbeat, kick, snare. We have that little water hit, a closed hi-hat, an open hi-hat, and that little note that is nothing. So what I think is we can make this first time the drums enter a simpler version. Basically, why don't we get rid of the open hi-hat or anything extra? So we'll just have kick, snare, and closed hi-hat for the first go. Because the first time the listener hears your drums, they're new to the listener for the song. So you can build on that by taking some things away from the initial pattern so that the next time this comes around at beat 13, for the listener, we've added something new, like open hi-hats and stuff. Johnny, everything that you hear in this project is a LANDR sample. All right, yeah, so my thought was we would keep that. I'm going to move all these loops and stuff over. I'm going to keep that. So I like to do a lot with a little, right? I'm going to make this simple. We already have some highs rolled off here on the drums, but I'm going to continue to automate the high cut so we can get an even crunchier version of the drums here. I'm going to do a low cut as well. Give me that mid-range, like kind of telephone kind of sound on the drums here. And I'm not sure where I want to go from there, but let's see what we can do. This is my return reverb. I'm going to see what the drums sound like if I crank that. For this section, you'll notice these red lines. I'm automating things for particular moments in time. And to make everything kind of fit in the same world during this 4-bar section, why don't we get rid of some lows in the sample chop? Maybe that makes it a little too quiet because a lot of the volume was coming from that. And why don't we also crank some reverb on this as well, so it gets like a nice spacey feel. Now, one thing we haven't done any of yet is adding some cool transitional sounds like FX and stuff, which we will do as we get into it. What do I mean automating? So these red lines right here that you're seeing on each track, those are our automation envelopes, ways of automating certain knobs. So you see as I move this up and down, this line, this knob is changing. This is my reverb room size. I'm gonna undo what I just did. But watch that again. I'm moving this bar and that's changing. So right now it's just a straight line, but if I want that to change over time, I want the room size to get bigger and bigger. See that? That's automating according to that line that I just drew. And honestly, that doesn't sound too bad. I'm gonna use the same exact technique, that little drop that I did before. I'm gonna cut at beat 4 here. And I'm not just gonna cut, but I'm going to cut. This is another example of automation. I'm going to automate the track on and off. And I'm going to automate it so that it turns off on that beat. You notice that the red line changes. Whatever you click on, whether it's your track volume, or whether it's your pan, or whether it's an effect on the track or something, if I click the dry wet, notice this red dotted line changes because whatever parameter you've last clicked on, that's what this red dotted line represents. And you can draw points on the line and you can move and manipulate those points. So whatever parameter you selected can change over time accordingly. Does that make sense? All right, like I said, I'm dropping everything out on beat 4 here. Doing another very simple drop exactly like we did before. We'll see if we, you notice that one. So why do we hear a reverb tail? I'm turning the whole track off. The reason is we are sending these drums to a return reverb. The reverb isn't on the track, it's a return track here. So that's what we're hearing. Watch the volume meter. See? So sometimes when I'm automating a drop like this, I automate the return reverb to turn off as well, if I don't want any tail. Now, since we kept things kind of loose, I'm hearing that little click of the drums on that beat. So I'm just going to do this. And that gets rid of that. Okay, so suddenly the 10 seconds of music that we had has now evolved into a solid about 55 seconds. And we've done, it was not painful, I think. I think it was pretty easy. We've got ourselves an intro. Like I said, we're going to add some effects here. One thing we haven't brought in yet is bass. What exactly does the return track do? You can put different effects on the return track. And when you send a track's audio to a return track, you get the dry audio and the affected audio. Versus if you put the effect on a track, you just get the 100% like affected sound. You don't get the unaffected sound at all. You get both when you use a return track. So there is different instances where you use that. I'm saving the bass. I think we can get away with not having a bass so far, and when it comes in eventually, it's going to be a lot more satisfying. I'm almost wondering if it just needs to come in here. I don't want that to come in yet. All right, so let's just try that out. I'm going to keep moving things over that I don't want to use yet. So we're working our way down the arrangement. So let's hear what this drop sounds like now when the bass comes in. What's up, Andrew Lynn? How are you? Oh, I gotta duplicate that. Great. So now we're at about 1:20. For this style of music, I like to hit the 2-minute mark at least and have a nice complete beat. It definitely seems like by bar 29, we're gonna have to introduce something new for sure. So keep that in mind. I might use some additional plugins as we go here, but I'll see how far I can get with just using the LANDR sample library. Let's see what we can get for risers in the LANDR sample library. Oh, I gotta click the search button. All right, seems like we have a lot. So what do I mean by risers? It's gonna sound like this. This might be a little much, but let's hear. It's like that. Now that was a reverse crash sound. Sometimes they're white noise. Let me see if I can find one that's more white noise. This one maybe? Oh, this one's like a whole chord. Again, the birds are just the watermark. When we download the sounds, they won't have birds on them. That's cool. This one's called Laser Rise, so it's going to sound a little more like an alarm. Noise riser. I'm cool with that one. I'm just going to grab a bunch of these. So these are going to work to transition us between different sections. I'm going to just kind of peek at the title. I don't want anything too crazy, obviously. This might be a little cinematic for the mood of our beat, you know, but that's okay. I should note that there's also packs here. So there might be one that's maybe closer to what we're trying to do. Club risers. Yeah, we don't really want cinematic. Let's see what's under EDM risers, because I can work with those. I find most EDM risers, I can... oh, let me search here. That's not what we want. So obviously we can sort by different types, key, etc., BPM, instrument. I'm going to search under SFX. Let me see what the submenu is under SFX. Oh, we can specifically search for risers, so that's good. Some of these say baseline. We don't want that. We want like white noise. We actually do that. Noise. What bass plugin am I using? Benjamin, all of the sounds you are hearing are LANDR samples. I have not used a plugin yet. Listen to this bass. This is a LANDR sample thrown into Ableton Live's Simpler so that we can play it like an instrument. Hey, what's up, Aisha? Welcome. All right, where did my LANDR samples go? Oh no, it's playing a sample in the background. Let's see what there is for white noise, because I can make one out of white noise easily. Easy. So you're gonna say, why the heck is he downloading a bunch of noise samples? And I will show you why in a moment. I promise it will all make sense. Now I have the LANDR plugin on a track in the DAW so that I can just, again, that's great. I can work with that. I just, simple as downloading the sample, Boom, drag it in. Let's bring up the plugin one more time. Let me grab one more, or maybe two more. These two are probably fine. Yep, easy. Don't even have to think about it. Just grab it, drag it in. And I'm going to grab that one that was right below it too. And then we should have enough. Now, I'm not putting these in any... That one's fine. It's a little electronic, but I can make it work. Let's drag that in. So I put these in random places. Now we have to figure out where they actually need to go. And like I said before, these are to be used at transition points. So I know I said I was getting risers, which are like this rising sound, but I downloaded a lot of like down lifters, like sounds that go down. But with Ableton, it's easy. We just click on a sample, click reverse, and now suddenly downlifters, uplifters, it's all the same, right? So what's this first one that I dropped here? We definitely want a riser. And I want a riser to build up not to the downbeat, but to where we did the little break. So let's see how this sounds. It's gonna be very subtle. I'm gonna bring the gain up on the sample a little bit. Good. So usually we would bring it all the way to the downbeat like this, but since we did that break there, it doesn't make sense. Much more satisfying when it builds up to that fourth beat. Now, tension and release, right? So I'm going to grab this white noise sample and I'm going to drag it down here so it's on its own track. And this sample is much louder, so this track probably has to be softer. That has more of like a, okay, we've arrived at a new section kind of vibe. One thing that I like to do with these, just to add another level of space to them, is put a reverb on them, because why not? This is all part of the finishing process. Like you notice I didn't do this while we were going and while we were making the beat, but it's in my brain that yes, we're gonna do this later. Drop that there. I'm gonna put this on high. I'm gonna make it big. There we go. Now this right here, the filter on the reverb, is important. I want mostly high resonance there. The diffusion network too. That sounds good. Let's listen to that without the reverb. That electronic kind of down-pitched sound is a lot more prominent with reverb. With reverb, it's a little more like a waterfall, which I think fits the track a little bit better. I won't do that at every transition point, but for the major ones, for sure will. We probably want something to happen here. That was maybe a bit too abrupt. Now this is the same sample as this one. I'm gonna put this on this track, and then I'm gonna put it on its own track. The reason I did that, that's a little shortcut tip, is because I wanted to create a track that has a reverb on it. And since this track has a reverb on it, if I take this sample or anything in this track and drag it into an empty space so that it creates a new track, it will duplicate the effects chain and the parameters. So you notice they're at the same exact volume. And what do you know, on this track, we have the same exact reverb. So that's a little workflow tip. Hi, Piano Message. Piano Message, your name looks fancy in chat. Joseph McCaffrey, explain it. Cool. Now, that break will sound a lot better if we do another build up next to it. So we have one more riser here that we haven't used yet. One moment in time, ENT. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's build up to that fourth beat here using this riser. Now, I don't want this one to have a reverb on it because I don't want the tail to hang over. So I've put this sample on a track that doesn't have a reverb on it. I'm going to take the sample and drag it here to where there's no track. And boom, it's copied the parameters of that track. We're good to go. Lit. Now I didn't place it in the right place and it's a little too loud, but let's do that. Put it in the right place and bring it down to volume. Okay, so one thing I noticed about this sample is that it's got this little fade out at the end. I don't want that. I want the sound to build up and build up and build up and abruptly cut off at beat 4. So I'm just going to shave off the end of it, move it over. Bada bing. This back in here. Now we've got this nice stack of effects, and you'll notice that I put each of them on a different track. I like to process them all. If they're different sounds, I like to put them on their own track because I have to level them differently, mix them differently, etc. And you notice I'm doing a lot of mixing on the fly. Every track is starting below. Many of them are at minus 12. This isn't even in use, so I'm going to get rid of it. Let's just expand these tracks. Some of these are not being used. Yeah, minus 12, minus 13, minus 12, minus 15, because I'm giving myself headroom. Remember that, headroom. It's going to come in handy later. Alright, so we're getting about to the minute 20 mark with this current arrangement. What up, real Squidward? Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Maybe something cool there. So remember how we did the snare? Maybe we could put something else there. We could definitely put something else there. Let me browse. I always like to use like a breath, like an exhale. But I don't know. Let's see if that exists here. Sometimes they sound awkward, so I apologize if these samples sound awkward. Oh, I have that track turned off. That's a little gasping. That's very dramatic, but I could use it. That's a demon. Oh, that's a good one. See, that's as strong. I wouldn't call that strong. I would just call that like a normal exhale. That's what I'm always looking for, a normal exhale, and they always sound like bizarre. All right, here we go. I want that to happen right on that break. I noticed that in this. Let's see how it sounds. That sounds smooth. Too low though. I wonder if it almost needs to start a little sooner because I'm seeing that the sound. Now I kind of like that drifting over the bar line there, but let's hear what it sounds like if it gets cut off and there's no reverb on it. I prefer it the other way. I'm going to turn the reverb back on and let the tail hang. All right, so where are we at? So then this little guitar-ish riff comes in again. Now we are at a point where we need something new. I'm craving something new. That's a contender. Should we bring in the vocal sample? Ooh, what's that white noise? We haven't used that yet. Let's use this since we haven't used it yet. I'm going to put it on its own track because it's its own sound. I think a nice build up would be good. I'm going to reverse it so it's a riser. Make the end point there and then cut it in half. Ableton has like these fades. If you're not in automation view, I'm switching by hitting A, which gives me my red lines, my automation lines. If you're not in that, you can use the fades, which I do often. What's up, Victor Hugo Rodriguez in the chat? Hello. I want to cut that guitar sound. I wonder if we could have brought this in sooner now. Yeah, I think that's actually what this second verse needs. I was afraid of using all my material before we got to a decent point, but that's what you mean by vocal packs? Well, yeah, I got it from LANDR, bro. Holding options and dragging something lets you copy it instead of moving it. So we need something new. We haven't used these bells yet, but I'm not sure if I want to use them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy over these drums that we used in that little filtered part earlier. And I want to start building some new musical ideas here. So my automation is just a little messed up there because that originally cut off. So I'm just going to extend that over. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm going to do that as well. Boom, boom. All right, we'll just leave it like that for now. So I want new material. It's time for a B section. What do I mean by that? I mean, let's start with the bass line, right? I forgot what key we're in. We're in D? Think so. Yeah, we're in the key of D. So this whole thing is like based on the same loop. So it's like kind of the same, everything's blending together or on the same chord progression, etc. We can change that now. And the reason I like to hold a percussion loop over it is because now I want to lay down something new, like potentially a new bass line, because that will help inform everything else. So since I already have a bass, I'm not going to pick a new sound. I'm going to see how much I can get done with the sounds that I already have. Shane Sky, thank you so much. Appreciate it. This is sponsored by LANDR, so it looks like a good demo for what they have. Hey, that's all I can do. I only work with brands, guys, that it makes sense, you know? Obviously, if I can do all this with their samples and their plugin, I wouldn't just take a random sponsor, is what I'm saying. Like, unless I thought it had some value or unless the thing actually works, which hopefully all I'm doing is everything I normally do, but with LANDR samples. So I think it works pretty well. Great. Like I said, new bass line. So this is the original bass line. So how can we change that and make it a little more interesting? So I'm going to loop this 4 bars and find something new. Just play these notes, but basically in a different order. But I'm not sure if I want this section to be as bouncy. Let me play this section before it one more time. I want to not depart too far from the... So that kind of mimics the original rhythm, but it's different notes, different order, so it's going to guide the harmony in the track in a different way. Now I kind of messed up when I recorded that, so let me fix that. And let's also quantize. So that's the bass line I just laid down. So what do we actually have already here for synths, because I think this is the moment where we will probably end up adding something new. This is turned off, but what is this? Oh, guitar. Guitar is a good... I think guitar would be a very good fit here, actually. So let's try. Like, usually this late in the game, it's very hard to find a loop, but at least if we search guitar, we might be able to find a good one shot to use. Now I can change this. I think I have to select a sample for this. Let me specifically search acoustic guitar because I think that that would sound best. Oh, that's not how you spell it. I think it knew what I meant. Chill step acoustic guitar. Let's preview this. Yeah, that pack will do. I'm just going to dive into this pack and really quick. I want to change this because I can change this on the fly. We know we're in D major, so I'm going to change it. And look at that. The sample changes. I demoed this last stream, but I think that this is super important because not only that, but I can play our loop. And it should put them in key, and if they fit, it'll put them in time and in key. I might be better off searching like B minor or something, but I might want to find a one shot as well. And some, not quite finding what I want. That's a bass. Continuing. Yeah, some of these are a little too far out. Let's continue on. Gentle skies. Now, I don't think that's gonna work, but it's close. Something like that could work. What source for sample is that? It's called LANDR. And you can get 35% off if you want to use LANDR today. You want to sign up. See, this one has one... Oh, that's the bass again. Did I go to the second page? Let's go to the third page. No bass. Stop this for a second. Just wants... All right. That will work, and I'll tell you why. Even if it won't work as a loop, we can sample it, and I'll show you. I do this process all the time. Did it last time to make some instruments, but here we are again. So I have my MIDI track here, blank MIDI track with just my basic rack on it. I'm gonna go to instruments, and then I'm gonna drag simpler in, which is how we sample things in a simple way. So I take that sample that I just got from LANDR, I normalize it to bring that volume up. I'm gonna move this flag to be on this first note. I'm gonna get right in on it. And then I'm gonna move that flag at the end to be before that next note starts, and we're good. I'm gonna turn the release up. I'm going to turn off the sample that we just put in our project. I'm going to arm this track so we can play it. And now with our keyboard, there it is. Now we have a guitar instrument to play. We're not beholden to anybody's loops, you know? A loop may or may not fit in the vibe of your track. But if we have an instrument, then we can play the sounds. Now, as usual, with samples, we want to tune them. So if we go to Utilities, then we go to Tuner, I put that here. And I want this note, since I'm playing a C on the keyboard, should be a C on the tuner, but it's not. So I'm gonna go to Controls and Transpose. And I'm gonna go up to C. It's a little off from center, but that's okay. Okay. That's what I do in Koala. Nice. That's a great app. Should we have a little bit of delay on there? Anyway, I don't even know how this is going to fit, but let's just play along with this loop section that we have. One thing I might do is shave highs off. Go lower. I think lower makes more sense and a lot more reverb probably. I definitely want to add some more delay to that, so I'm going to add a ping pong delay. Where are we at? Where are we at? Chat, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, by the way. Support the sponsor, support the channel. So LANDR, we're brought to you by LANDR today, who all of the sounds that you're hearing in this track right now are from LANDR's sample library. We've got about 20-ish more minutes to finish this track and then master it with LANDR's AI mastering. So if you want to see that, make sure you stick around. And then we're going to do it all over again with the second track. So we're arranging, we're mixing, and then we're mastering. About 20 more minutes if we keep on time. I want to make sure we get both tracks done tonight is what I'm trying to say. All right, ping pong delay. Maybe we don't need that much feedback. Maybe I want the higher end. Great. Less feedback, less feedback. Now, one thing I could do is unlink the time here, and this will give us a different feel. Benjamin says, I don't understand their pricing. So it's just like most sample libraries, you get a certain amount of credits depending on so monthly, you get a certain amount of credits, right? Now to make I made 3 tracks last stream on Thursday. I made 3 tracks and I have 200 credits this month. I have 148 credits left, I should say. So that's plenty. And we've been digging in and adding to this. So that's how the pricing works. You pay a monthly fee, you get a certain amount of credits, and you can download as many samples as you want. So every time I click download, I'm basically like using a credit. Maybe a little less delay. I know I can make this guitar fit. I am pretty confident that I can. But let's just maybe. Right. I want it to be kind of washed out. Let's record something like that. 1, 2, ready, go. So close, but not quite. What did I play before? I should have just captured it. Again. Yeah, something like that. So I kept the drums because it's easier to play along when you carry something over when you're making a B section, but let's have the drums drop out here. And let's quantize. So this entire, I'm thinking 8 bars here, is going to be the bridge, essentially. Now, it's not the exact like pop structure that I talked about earlier, but it's close. Let's take that out for now too, and let's just see what we have here. Now this could also filter in. And now we can use our vocal samples again. All right, I have an idea about the direction we can go in. So like I just said, we can filter the guitar in. I already have a high cut EQ, but that's more to give it that lo-fi kind of sound. So to do that filtering, I'm gonna put a proper auto filter on here. EQ and filters, auto filter. Boom, like that. And we will automate, once again, somebody asked about automating earlier. We're going to automate this frequency knob. We're going to bring it up over time. We're going to have it start here and end here. So now I just need to draw a nice diagonal line. I don't want it to start so low that we can't hear it when it enters. Now I can make this line a curve, which will obviously affect the automation. And one last thing I'm going to do, the order of your effects matter. Just realized you probably couldn't see that frequency knob, so I apologize. The order of the effects matter. I want this filter to happen before the reverb. The reverb will ring out regardless of over the filter, which is going to sound a lot more natural. Remember, every four, right? So bar 33, we are feeling like we expect something to come. Now, one thing I'm going to anticipate is that we have a riser here. So I'm going to duplicate that and then reverse it. I'm also going to reuse this riser here. Now we have a couple short, could we use that breath, but I think that breath is probably better off only being used once. I'm going to drag this over here and I'm going to make it much, much quieter by adjusting the gain on the sample. Really, it should be on its own track, but boom, here we go. I'm gonna use this one as well, but I'm gonna make it much quieter because this is kind of a softer section. So I don't want these aggressive, you know, risers to be abrasive, you know? So here is where the drums can for sure come in, and we can use these filtered drums. Where did we do filtered drums? Somewhere here. We can do filtered drums here. And I would say, let's even have the kick there. We are filtering, so it won't have all the low frequencies, but it'll still be there. I would say let's do even more on the filtering, by the way. Bring these highs down even more. Now, when I adjust this, I actually want to make sure that after this section, it goes back to the level it was at regularly. So I'm going to put it back up. What is that at? 7.02. I'm just going to get that close enough. Boom. Great. So this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship here. Let's, like I said, play with these vocal samples here. I didn't tune this sample, so I have to play it in basically in a different key, but let's see if we can get it to fit. Cool. And I want that to enter in maybe here. A little before bar 33. One. Oh, you couldn't see that, but you know. I'm gonna play that button neater. 2, ready, go. Great. And remember, this is going to build up to like our final drop of the song pretty much. Let's do a similar thing. I'm going to drop an auto filter in here, but I think I'm just going to have it build up this bar before bar 33. Now, usually we do things in sets of 4 bars, right? But don't be afraid to have things like start a little bit before. You know, not everything has to be perfectly on the grid. We can indeed build up with this vocal sample ahead of it. Now, that filter is going to build up. I'm just going to turn that filter off after because it doesn't need to be on at all. It only needs to be on for this section. And it doesn't need to be on before that, as a matter of fact, either. Okay, let's see if we can deal with this here. Same thing as before. We're going to do a drop on beat 4. Let's get it. Boom. Drop off the face of the earth here. Not the vocal sample, though. I'll show you. I have an idea of what to do with the vocal sample. Bass line, yes, same thing. We're going to do it. We're going to turn it off here. Guitar, pretty much everything is turning off. Boom, off. Now you can see my delays and reverbs are still going on the return track, so I'm going to turn those off as well. And I'll show you there is a method to my madness here. I have an idea to make a nice, satisfying thing here. Of course, my build-ups now, my risers need to end at bar 4 as well. And they can't just cut off, they have to turn off because they have reverbs on them. Boom. How are we doing on time? We got time. If I finish this arrangement in 10 minutes, we'll be good to do the mastering right at like 8:20-ish. Okay. The vocals, I want to, instead of adding more and more and more effects, I want to take away the reverb completely. So I'm going to automate the reverb dry wet on the vocals and turn it off for that moment and see what it sounds like having just the completely dry vocal sample played there. I think it's going to sound cool. Great. Now, I think that buildup is slightly lacking. I think we can do more with it, but let's hold that thought. We want a big drop. And maybe we want to continue this bass line. I think we do actually want to continue this bass line. So I'm going to copy that. And what happens if we make this? This is a short sample, right? Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to play the same exact bass line, but with more notes. Yeah, let's do it. All right, I'm going to grab my drums from before, the proper drums that I have, along with the hi-hats. Put them there. Oh, I see my automation. You got to be careful with your automation. Make sure you turn things back on. Boom. All right, great. Let's do this. I'm going to record this bass line again, but with more notes. 1, 2, 3, go. Got it. Okay. Even at that, I'm going to make all these notes legato. So there's less separation between them. There's no separation between them, actually. And we can carry over our friendly synth loop. I'm going to get rid of this automation that we don't need. Go away. Go away. Now this doesn't sound very epic at all, does it? Because we obviously need a bunch of noise happen in there. Like this, but not a riser. We'll reverse it. And take the fade off so that it makes sense. And we can let that run. We can even copy this one over. All right. Let's continue with our guitar as well. So I'm copying things over now. The one thing we're missing is like a solid keyboard type instrument. All right, that noise actually goes on for a bit too long. Oh, and our vocal sample should carry over. Peace out, man. Have a good one. Let me go ahead and just do this again. Remember how to play this. Let's record that. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's fine. Let's quantize. Let's quantize to the right subdivision. See, the reason I could tell that that was wrong, folks, by the way, let me undo what I just did. So this is unquantized. If I go to Command-Shift-U, which are my quantization settings, it was set to 8th notes. Now I know that what I played is pretty close to what I wanted. So when I hit Command-U and it snaps some of those notes way off what they were originally at, I know that my subdivision is off. So I just hit Command-U, switch to 16ths. Usually means I need a lower subdivision. Now, I don't know if our original chords will work here. They probably won't because we reharmonized. But here's the original chords. But I wonder if we separate them, what happens? I'm just chopping these to see if they'll fit. That's close-ish. Man, it's a little off. That's okay. Let's just do one quick break from using LANDR samples. We'll use one synth here. And in fact, I just want to find a simple synth pad. I have Serum loaded here. Let's add a synth pad. What do I have? I mean, I can use a default setting, a default preset. Just scan through them real quick. I just need something to fill out that space, and look at that. First preset I tried works. Now, one thing that's going to make it blend even better is the sidechain compressor, which we have on most things. Everything's ducking under the kick. So I'm going to copy and paste that onto here. And let's try this out. Let's just play some chords and see how it goes. I'm gonna play down here. Up an octave. Should I play this inverted? All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bad playing, bad playing. We're just gonna play root position for now and I'll add notes in later. All right. You're very underrated, honestly. Always such great content and teachings. Thank you. I appreciate that. How do we get it from being underrated to properly rated is my question. Let me, legato. I actually don't know if the chords need to change like that. We're in the key of D. I'm gonna play something more, less chords and just straight up, I'll use the bass, but. Let me do 2 different synths. I think that's what we're gonna need. So let me record this idea first. 3, 4. All right, I've got that idea. We're gonna add one more synth. I gotta stay on time here. I'll give myself 5 more minutes to finish this track up. Then we're doing the mastering. Duplicating that because that's simple. All right, here we go. I'm adding one more serum pad. I don't know what it's gonna sound like. I bet a hard bass would work. Something like that could work, but you know. I think I have like a, I don't know why I'm trying to add another bass now. What am I doing? Just stay in pads. I'm panicking. What's up, Vasi? That just sounds weird. Serenity now. Let's just find one more sound to fill this out. That's all we need. That's fine. That's good. 1, 2, ready? Just gonna hold this. Boom. Adds a layer of epicness, I would say. Got a slow attack. We probably don't need that slow of an attack. One more loop, I think, is what we need. A shaker loop, perhaps. Browse. Shaker, shaker. Did I search it? Go. It's gonna quantize, right? Perfect. Decide which one. Salt shaker. That one sounds pretty good. I'm gonna add reverb to whichever one I pick. Need something brighter. The salt shaker one sounds pretty good. That's the one. I'm going to drop this into that percussion and then put it on its own track. LANDR sample strikes again. Where is a reverb? Here we go. Duplicate it. Benzie, I could do some more stuff with the launchpad at some point, sure. Great. I'm going to add a couple more effects to this section, like another little downlifter here at bar 41, a riser leading up to bar 45, which will be our outro. And look at that. We're at the 2-minute mark on this track, which is the goal to hit. Remember, this is our build-up section, kind of. Hi, Emma. How are you? This is a nice, chill ending, I'd say. Now, I'm probably not gonna do that. I'll take this sample, this pattern. I will filter it out for an ending. Boom. The good old filtered out ending. Point there, put a point there, and let's do it. I want it to happen faster, so here's a curve. and I'm just gonna hang some things over, but not everything. We don't need that. Yeah, let's hold that over. Same thing. Let's filter that out. Oh, I just realized that was happening the whole time. We don't need that. That's gonna sound a lot better. And let's bring our rain sample back in for the ending here. Start as we end as we started. Let's get it. Let's get it. What happened here? Let's fade that out naturally. This should have faded out a lot sooner. Boom. And that's an ending, my friends. I hope that arrangement process made sense to folks. I think it's time for us to hit export and potentially run this through some mastering, right? I guess I should have faded that out. It's like a basic track. Probably if I wasn't on a time crunch, I would probably do maybe a little bit more, but not too much more. It's good to work in this time limitation because it's done or it's not done, you know? What do we have here? A nice full arrangement. Let me listen back to this section. Nice faded in guitar. We're gonna filter in some vocals here. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. Let's do a quick riser here. And let's use our exhale at the end as well. It's a fine track, I'd say. Now keep in mind, I do have this EQ here. That's gonna bump our bass up a little bit and shave off some highs. I also have the J37, which is giving it that tape quality. We have a little crunchiness. Now this is by design. I want it to sound like that. So we're gonna run this through the AI mastering. I have one last idea before we finish this track. I promise we're going to do it right now. And it's that. We're just going to add that upper octave. Could you do a collab with Eldre and or Chris Punsalon? Maybe one day. That little exhale at the end. And then where's the end point? Boom. All right, we're ending at bar 51. That gets us a 2-minute, 20-second track. Now, I've been doing my mixing and all that on the fly, if you've been paying attention. So I've got a basic audio processing rack on everything, which gives me quick access to like low cut or high cut or reverb or compressor. The main advice I can give to you beginners is if something is not a bass or something doesn't need low end, get the low end out of it. Like there's no reason for this vocal sample, for instance, to have this area of low end in it. Because look, there's harmonic, there's like sound there. We can't hear it, but it's there. I have it swept out right now, but if it was there, it would still be affecting my mix, you know? And this is also to say I've only like mixed this through headphones so far, so I'm gonna lower that open hi-hat. So if I was doing a proper mix and master, obviously I would listen to on various speakers. However, it's time to run this through the AI mastering. Are you ready for this, folks? First thing that I'm going to do is export the audio. Now, all right, that all checks out. I'm going to export with 24-bit depth so we can do an HD master. Recordings. Boom. We're going to export this to here. Oh, that was just the loop, but I'll call this R1 in case we go back and do another mix of it or something. You know, I'll call R2, R3, R4, etc. So while that's exporting, I'm going to log into my LANDR account real quick, which since I had to restart the computer earlier, I think it logged me out. Oh, I don't think it did actually. Get started. Let's see if it loads up. All right, I think we're there. Can you believe we did that all? We have 147 credits left for samples. That's crazy. Then after we do the mastering, I will take a quick bathroom break. Joseph McCaffrey can come talk to you all. And this should be a good time. Pendolce's here. Hey, what's up? Ave McCree. Oh, I didn't even see you, Ave. What's going on, Ave McCree? Hello. Can you all go open Ave McCree's channel in another tab and give him a sub too? He does really great content, a lot of good NPC content, all that stuff. Yes, great channel from Ave. All right, here we go. I think it finished exporting. Nope, it did not. Sorry. Un momento. All right, yeah, chat. But how are you all? Let's check in. This is what we've been waiting for. Yes, you've all been waiting for the moment that Joseph McCaffrey takes the stage. He's got his own emote. You know him, you love him. It's not time for that yet. But hey, I bought that autonomous desk after you recommended it. I love it so far. It's pretty great. Now, sometimes all my stuff will get disconnected. I didn't wire everything right. So if I do, this is actually a standing desk. I can push a button, it gets taller. It's very risky though. Risky only because of my stupidity, not for any other reason. Okay. Here I am in my LANDR account, and I'm under the mastering page. Now, these are 2 tracks that I just kind of tested like ahead of stream with just to make sure everything was working properly. But we're obviously going to do a new master. Oh, we can do a whole album master. Imagine that. So let's jump to that audio that we just exported for 8A, I believe. Yes, for AR1. We'll do the wave. Open it. And we are uploading. Well, that was fast. All right, good. We're processing. This takes a few minutes, obviously, because it's trying to do a whole master. Now, it does tell you, make sure you leave headroom. Good. It's listening, all that. Let me real quick switch back to Ableton so I can show you what headroom means. And headroom is really, really important for mastering. And it's something that I do by default in my Ableton Live set. And no matter what DAW you use, you could probably set this to default as well. This is the project, right? But if I insert a new audio track, for instance, here's my new audio track. Look at the level that it defaults to. Zoom, zoom, zoom. -12. That's headroom. Your tracks normally will start at 0. And a lot of times you guys have it starting at 0 and you're still like, how do I get my tracks louder? How do I get my tracks louder? How do I get my tracks louder? Well, guess what? To get your tracks louder, you need to have headroom. This sounds counterintuitive, but all your stuff, all my tracks load in at -12. If I insert a new MIDI track right now, -12. And then I go from there. Maybe occasionally I'm bringing it above that -12, but that gives me enough space and room to bring things up or bring things down even. Like you see even this vocal is at -20, -11, -26. Like I'm working at really low volumes, quote unquote, because I know that I'm going to master my tracks, whether it's with my own mastering chain or with LANDRs, which we're about to use. And even if you were sending it off to like a professional mastering engineer, like a real person, they would want headroom. You can't have super loud mixes. It's going to make everything sound like trash. So let me open LANDR back up here and see how the listening and processing is going. Preview complete. Let's give a listen, shall we? Okay. So before I click play here, it's going to play as a preview, and then we're going to create the master. We have the original we can listen to, so what I just uploaded. We have LANDR's master preview, and then the reference track. Now you can upload a reference track, it seems. I'm not going to do that today, but that's useful. And then we have different styles. So warm, balanced, and open. Let's see how LANDR describes these three styles. Warm, vintage warmth with softer compression for thick, smooth sound. Balance, controlled with focus on balance, clarity, and depth. Open, modern, open sound with emphasis on punch and presence. So we'll be able to flip through those to see how they sound differently. And then there's levels of intensity, which I guess affects the loudness. But hey, let's see. Let's listen to this. Should we listen to the original first? This is the original. Let's listen to the LANDR. Obviously, it's much louder. And we're on the balanced style. Let's go to the open style. You can hear the color of the sound change. There's also an intensity. Let's go to low. Yeah, that mostly did affect the loudness, I would say. Play that back with low intensity. Let's go to open. What do y'all think of the different styles? Just try warm. Now remember, this is supposed to be a crunchy track, I think, but we've already kind of added the crunch, so I think setting it to warm won't, it'll be a little overkill. I say that open hi-hat is too loud, which means I should probably have mixed it better, but I think open does sound cleaner, and we don't need that intensity on high at all. It's too intense. I'm going to create the master. What even happens here? So it works similarly like with samples. You have credits. So I have 15 credits for the HD wave thing, but there's other formats as well. You can obviously upload an MP3 or WAV. That's why I said it's 24-bit, by the way. Usually it's 16. Continue. I don't know how long this takes, actually, because I've not done this yet. There we go. Little drop-down menu there. Folks, while that is cooking, I'll throw that back into the DAW so we can actually see what the waveform looks like. But Joseph McCaffrey, would you like to join us? Let's get Joseph McCaffrey emotes in the chat. Joseph. Let's get him in the chat, folks. If you're a member, you got that emote. And we'll come back. What's the difference between WAV and MP3? WAV is higher quality, more information, bigger file size. MP3, smaller file size, and just slightly lower quality. And like most of the time, you are not going to be able to tell the difference between WAV and MP3. That's what I'll say, to be honest. But it's time for my, oh my gosh, in the chat. Come look at this. In the chat window, it shows up like that. That's great. But yes, So I take a bathroom break once a stream. We're going to get back into arranging, mixing, and mastering one more track tonight. But that track turned out pretty good. It's still mastering in LANDR's kind of sample library thing. But Justin McCaffrey's here to talk to all of you. So please, they're giving you a round of applause as we speak.
Oh, what's up, guys? How's it going? TAETRO's lucky I showed up for work today. I'm feeling pretty under the weather. Pretty sick feeling. What's up? What's up? What's up? How's it going? Well, that's all I got. Nah, so I got my vaccine yesterday, and I feel got a little fever going since last night. So just waiting it out, you know. Just waiting it out. Who are you? That's a question. That's a good question. That is a good question. Taking over? No. Just while he's in the bathroom, and then he's gonna get more water or something. So my segment. How long does it? I don't know, man. Oh, the master's already complete, so not that long. The master is done. It says master complete right here. Boom. So a couple minutes, it seems like. Fernando. Yeah, my arm is sore for sure. And like, dude, I haven't had a fever like I had last night in a long time. You know? I think this whole year, because everybody like washed their hands so well and like everything like that, like people didn't get sick as much, like with colds and like the flu and stuff, because everyone was being so safe with masks and everything. But so I haven't been sick in like a long time. Now here I am, the flu. You got the chip, I know, the microchip, dude. My body's full of 5G and stuff. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I got the 1-dose one. TAETRO's lucky he didn't get like any. Well, he got a little bit of a fever last night, but I've been like dead since last night. Yeah. Someone said the microchips got me feeling sick, bro.
That's the microchip.
My dog is a microchip and he's fine.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not that worried about it. All right, are we good to go? You got the, yeah, that's the way to go, Benjamin. Oh my God, take the whole desk down. It finished.
Perfect.
Several minutes ago, so.
Great.
First dose of Pfizer, dude, everybody's got the vaccine.
Oh, nice.
It's good to go.
Let's all go to Disney.
Yeah, we're all gonna go to Disney soon. All right, well, it was good to talk to everybody. I will see you guys next time. Hopefully I won't be sick anymore. Yeah. Later.
Wow. Oh, and it's I hear it. They're giving you a round of applause. They're clapping you off. Standing ovation. The live was paused because my PC is bad. When he comes back, there is another person and not TAETRO. That's funny. Abe, you were able to get vaccinated. That's good. What microchip? Somebody please explain. There's no microchip. It's a joke. Poggers in the chat, please. Hey, that master completed. I can play the whole thing from right within here. Let's listen back to the track. What button do I push? That's okay. Everybody will get a vaccine soon, Fernando. Different situations in different countries and stuff. Oh, it's interesting. It seems like this initial outline, it seems like it's showing like the original and the master, the difference in level. Maybe. Could be making that up. Could just be whatever. We were able to get it at a CVS. Guys, this sounds pretty good. That bass sounds really robust. Now, obviously, I would have to do a much better mix. on my speakers and stuff, but can we do something real quick? I want to hear this, but original version. Let's just listen to this drop once. This is the original. It sounds way boxier, doesn't it? And then with the actual LANDR master, let's turn on the master version. Let's listen to that drop again. Like. Sounds good on your monitors, Jazz? Cool. That sounds way better. So friends, remember, LANDR is sponsoring the stream, which means that you can get 35% off this mastering service and the sample library. So the link is in the description. It's the first line of the description. The code is there. It's for the first 100 of my subscribers. And some people signed up last stream. I don't know why I was racing. Sounds good on your TV? Good to know. So that took us like an hour and a half to go from like an 8-bar loop to a fully arranged out track. LANDR can do all this for here, that's right. The master was really fast, yeah, it only took a couple minutes. By the time I got back from the bathroom, it was done. I mean, hey, like, I think it's an affordable, reasonable option for those of us in a home studio that don't know much about mixing, or I mean, that don't know much about mastering and want to have really professional grade sounding tracks. That's pretty dope. But time is running out, folks, because we usually go for about 3 hours on these streams. So we usually go till about 10 my time, 10 PST. And we have a whole other track. Oh, I should have downloaded that, huh? I'll just move on. We have a whole nother track to work on now. And we got to repeat this process. So I think those of you having trouble breaking out of the loop, we just demonstrated. You can go from an 8-bar loop to a solid 2-minute track that easily. We did it mostly using samples. We used 2 serum synths. So I allowed myself to use 2 synths, okay? So now we're going to go back and we're going to do beat C from the other night. Yes, we'll save that. And let's do this again. Would you pick LANDR mastering over Ozone? I've never used Ozone, so I cannot speak to that. Hi, DJ Ox. So hey, if you're new here, actually, if this is your first TAETRO live stream, please let us know in the chat so we can welcome you appropriately. Let us know if this is your first TAETRO live stream. And if it is, welcome. We're here streaming 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Usually trying out different plugins or different sample packs or just making music. So it's always a good time. And sometimes we do giveaways, competitions, etc. Today we've got the 35% off LANDR. That's the sample library and the mastering service. So take advantage. The link is in the description. Will the stream be available on your page? Yes. And I encourage you to go watch Thursday's stream where I actually made these beats. So here's the one we're working on now. Samuel Messiah, what's good, my friend? You've been a ghost. Do I like Omnisphere? Never used it. Do you use Arcade much? Never used it. Anything else? Glad you can make it as well. It's your first, Vasi. That's great. Love your IG/YouTube pre-record stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Put out a video on Friday, folks, so you should all go watch that. If you have a controller that has pads and keys, it's a clutch tutorial that I put up on Friday. What do we have here? Interesting. It's all sample material, I assume. Cool. All right, so same deal here. This project, this track was made completely with LANDR samples again. And we've got pretty much an 8-bar loop, but it's really like we just have an extra 8 bars of the bells are different, right? Lots of material to work with here, and the challenge remains the same. How do we get from this 16-bar loop to a full track, going for a target runtime of 2 minutes? Now I'm moving all this extra stuff over on the timeline. It's all extra at the moment. I'm going to unsolo these tracks because I don't need nothing soloed. And I'm going to take our little loops here. Now, this one's more emotional. In my opinion, I like this beat better. I think because it's sadder. I tend towards the sadder music. I'm going to move all this over. Moving it all over so that we can start to build up an arrangement here. Now, we used a nighttime sound. I got water on my keyboard. Oh, God. Last time, but now, well, we used a rain sound. So let's use crickets this time around. Let's find a good cricket sample in the LANDR sample library here. Again, setting the mood. I don't think this just goes for lo-fi music. I think other music has the ability to have a like mood setting field recording in it. Crickets and birds, this says. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Feeling the vibes? Gives you 420 vibes. Hey, it's coming up. Along with my birthday. Guys, bonus stream on my birthday, April the 18th. Mark your calendars. It's a Sunday. You all know I don't stream on Sundays. But I gotta get a nice blazer to wear on my birthday. That's 8 days from now. Okay. I got plenty of time. All right, we got crickets and birds now. We love that. So what should we start with? Some chords? What do you think? That sounds like a lot to start with. Also, these crickets are mad loud. Bring it down. Honestly, I think the chords have to be the way. What does this sound like if we pitch it up? Bad. Well, let me switch the warp mode just to be sure. A little too crunchy, huh? But then again, I probably have J37 on this. Yeah, I think it's a little too crunchy. Let's get some of these lows out for this intro. And maybe we can actually chop this up to be a little more. Or maybe more reverb, something. Let's wash it out a little more. There you go. It sounds a little far away. We won't keep it like that, but it's pretty good. Whoa, we got a new member in the chat. What is going on? DJ Ox, welcome.
To the community, DJ Ox.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining the squad. We're like going 150 strong at this point, which is pretty dope. I'm so stoked. You get that cool little badge next to your name. You get to join the Discord community. That's great. Thank you so much, DJ Ox. We love a good member. We love everybody. If you can't afford to become a member, not everybody can. That's totally fine too. Hitting the like button is totally free. All right, so same thing here. First 8 bars, we're gonna have that wet reverb. I'm gonna bring that down for the rest. We've also got like kind of a filtered sound as well. And then at bar 9, we'll have the whole thing. There are quite a few bass frequencies here, huh? Whoa, hold the phone, hold the phone. We got a member chain going here. Welcome, Vasily Foten.
Thank you for becoming a VIP.
Member. Thank you so much. You get the free space sample pack with that. So go to the community tab. You can download it right now. Don't wait. We're on our road to 200 members. Can you all believe it? Seriously, thank you all so much, because it really is the best way to support the channel and get perks. Like, I always want there to be a way, like, for me as an artist, it's important to give as much as possible. So that's why for years and years of my channel, I didn't have any memberships, didn't have any merch, didn't have anything to sell, no sample pack, nothing. Now that I've been doing it for a while, I'm more comfortable with offering something, but I always want to make sure that you all get something in return. So anything you can get from me, a membership. Obviously, if you order from controlfreakclub.com, you get some cool, you obviously get cool producer merch. If you become a member, you get a sample pack. You know, like, I think it's a good value exchange, all the things that we have to offer here. So thank you so much. I appreciate that, Vasily. Now we're going to give this the whole treatment again. I'm going to take out way more highs there. That's what I just decided. Give me that. Give me that. LOL, this is kind of a dumb EQ. Don't look at that. Whoa, DJ Ox has upgraded the membership. Hold the phone. DJ Ox, you're on a roll here. Thanks for upgrading to VIP. Probably the sample pack. I mean, the VIP is the best value tier. I say join the communities for folks who maybe like want to support, but and get in the Discord. That's great, but VIP is the best member. Old member, old member. All right, this is funny. All right, can we make this track? I keep getting distracted. I'm gonna keep the highs rolled off here. I think the crickets need to end. Man, you guys have been distracting me with memberships. All right, I'm gonna do some resampling here. So I've got this vocal, which is probably like my favorite part of the track. Shout out to LANDR for the dope vocal sample. And I'm gonna resample the sample, you could say. And what does that mean? Well, I've just created a new audio track here. And instead of like recording audio like from a microphone or something, I'm going to record audio from within the DAW. And I can set it to record audio from a specific track, like that vocal sample track, track 16. So I'm going to do this drop down menu here. I'm going to find track 16. And when I set this to record, now when I hit the record button at the top, it will record all the audio that comes from track 16. So let's do that. And I'll show you why in a minute. Peace out, Fernando. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Freeze track and drop down to audio? No, that's not what I'm doing. The reason I'm not doing that is because I want to still use this track, but I want to grab some audio from it. So I'm still going to use that as it exists, but this I'm going to manipulate. That's why I'm not freezing. That's why I'm resampling. The same process would essentially be to duplicate the track, freeze it, and flatten it, but also, that's not what I'm looking to do either. The first episode you've seen from the beginning? Thanks, Larry Duke. Okay, so now that I have that as audio, I can manipulate it in different ways. Why is Ableton better than FL? Who said it was? Nobody here. So let's try to manipulate this a bit. I'm going to crop it. And I'm going to like reverse it and stuff. That's why I got it as audio. Maybe I'm not going to put a ton of reverb on it. Let me backtrack on that for a moment. So I cropped that little section off. Let's reverse it and hear what it sounds like. So now we can make little cool bits and pieces out of it. Would I try Logic? Probably not. I just have no real reason to switch. All right, yes, I'm gonna make just weird chops out of this. And I actually want a different section of it. This is just a fun way to play with some of the stuff you've already made. Maybe I will add some reverb. "100% wet." Let's give it a shot. Working a lot on this intro here. I just want it to be a little more interesting. Not that loop, not that part though. That's a good one right there. Let's keep using this. Oh, so now that we have this resampled version, I can duplicate this little clip here, and maybe I want to transpose it if it works harmonically. It does. So now we have and perfect. So you see why we took that audio and put it into its own audio track? And maybe we want to chop this even more. I'm just having fun here. Like, obviously I could work way faster, I think, but I think showing something off like this is fun. Do you know how I can use my sub on this account? I have 2 YouTube accounts attached to the same email, but the other one is dead. I'm not sure what you mean. Great. I might just repeat that and alter it a little bit, but that's a pretty good 4-bar phrase there. Let's not reverse that one. So just like we did in the last project, maybe I want 2 of these tracks going because I want this to actually, I want to have a reversed version into a non-reversed version. I'm going to take the fade off, click reverse, and fade it the opposite way. Let's hear that. What made me start producing? I've just always wanted to make my own music. Let's just use that as a pattern. I was always super focused on wanting to make my own original music and not wanting to have to pay for a recording studio because I was doing like traditional songwriting when I started. And then I started learning about the world of recording music and DAWs and stuff. Eventually found my way to live. All right, great. So we have something totally new out of this vocal sample now, which I think is exciting. I'd say my drums are probably a little too loud. Sup, Orbit? Glad you could make it. Let's have this as like a kind of the same effect as the rise. What does it sound like if we turn it an octave up? Again, this manipulating the audio is the reason we resampled it. That sounds pretty cool. Now let's take it one step further. And since I like this pattern, I can consolidate this which will essentially just make it one, 4-bar loop. Now, the reason I did that is because now I can easily copy it over, but also I can take this whole thing and transpose it completely. 12. Maybe tones. Now, it sounds kind of awkward without everything around it, but let's go ahead and throw the drums and piano here. It sounds a little bit harsh up an octave. I'm going to try a couple more warp modes, and if it just doesn't work, then I'm going to abandon the idea. That sounds better, but I think one of the reasons it's not blending well is because I don't have the sidechain on this. So I'm going to sidechain it to the kick. Nah, I just don't think it quite fits. There's something there, but maybe we'll find something decent later. All right, so this track is much slower, so we're having an easier time. English? What is English? Getting to the 2-minute mark because we're already at 1 minute because our intro is like 20 seconds. Wasn't Pro Tools like one of the first DAWs? Pro Tools is like the main DAW that it's still the industry standard, but hey, Apple Laps with the super chat. Thank you so much. Whoa, hold the phone here. We got a lot of activity. We got to pause and say thank you. First, Apple Laps with the super chat, and then second, the 666. With the VIP
membership.
Or should I say
the 666.
With the VIP membership. Thank you for becoming a VIP member. And thank you, Apple Apps, for that super chat. 666, you get that free sample pack. Community tab is where you got to go for that. All right. We're going to follow our same rhythm, what am I trying to say? Our same kind of flow where we're changing every 4 bars. What's this? But let's introduce something new because we've been using that vocal sample a lot. So maybe we introduce these here, these bells. We don't need this yet. Let me work on this EQ for a second because it's sounding a little bit muddy. In school, they taught you Pro Tools. It's like the industry standard, and by industry standard, I means everybody makes their instrumentals and their beats and stuff on Live, Ableton Live, FL Studio, Logic, and then when they get a big placement or you work with a big artist and they go and they have to track vocals or they do a final mix or whatever, that all gets done in Pro Tools. So for you all as producers or whatever, I wouldn't worry too much about Pro Tools. But Illmind produces in Pro Tools. He's the only producer I've ever heard of that does that. It's all about whatever works for you. That's why I'd say there's no one better than the other, you know? Good. So we're doing that every 4 bars thing. Maybe here is time for the drums to drop out. And maybe last time what we did was we dropped out the kick. Maybe now we drop out everything but the kick. Looking for everything but the kick here. Oof, I didn't mean to do that. By the way, I have automated this No, I haven't automated it, but I have a delay on the drums, which is adding a slight more rhythm to the hi-hat. So I'm going to leave that here on this loop that we're not using yet over here. But if I take that away here, actually, I don't want to take it away. Change my mind. Piano's kind of weighing a little heavy now. I just don't think there's much of a place, unless we get rid of the piano. Yeah, we could probably replace the piano with something, but it is holding down like our bass line, kind of. So did we ever add a bass to this? Oh, we did. It's like an intense bass. All right, let me figure it out. Let's work this problem. What if we add the higher bells in here? We keep the piano. Everything needs its place. You know what I'm saying? Like half of mixing is making sure you don't have like redundant instruments. Like that bell and this piano were clashing because they exist in like the same frequency space. But when I add this bell part that's higher in range, Kanye produces his own music, of course, Taylor Deemer, yes. Not only his own music, but music for other people. Great. Let's continue on with that bell pattern. I think that bell pattern works so much better in the upper octave. Accidentally have loop on. Great. I got an upper octave version of that now, and I'm going to take lows out. Jack asks a loaded question about mixing. It usually has to do with the biggest mixing thing I see is people having overcomplicated too many parts. You don't need more than one. Like there has to be a reason for the track to be there, and the human brain can only focus on so many musical ideas at the same time. So make sure your selection of musical ideas in itself is not messy. Make sure you're taking out low frequencies and things that don't need low frequencies, aka anything that's not a bass. Move things, pan things that can be panned if necessary. Like your bread and butter, like your kicks and your main chords and stuff can be down the center. It can be, chords can be like a little wide, but like little melodies and stuff can get pushed over. Like I have this little bell pushed a little bit over to the right. Everything's got to exist in its own kind of frequency space. If you have things battling, it's going to sound like a bad mix. Headroom, so that when you go to master later, bring volumes down instead of, if you say, oh, that needs to be louder, instead of saying that needs to be louder, bring everything else down. Are you pitching each sample as you go? I'm not sure what you mean. This keyboard sample I did just pitch up an octave. I do rounds of revision on mixes. All right, so we need a nice big drop here. I guess that vocal sample can come in. The regular chords can come in, back in. This track is going to have a little less going on in it than the previous track. I don't think we'll build up like a full-on B section for this, but we'll see what happens. I have these other synths that I haven't even tried yet. Taylor Deemer, you have to head out. That's okay. Have a good one. Thank you for tuning in, Taylor, as usual. Taylor, you got to go watch some Kanye production videos. Do it. Zainel, I don't know what that means. To do poly, the rhythm. The rhythm. Got that bass dropping in. The main thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some more risers and stuff. This is just extra. Let's see, what is this synth here? If you're asking if I played the drums, yes, on the last stream when we made this beat. Alright, so we got this new section where the vocal sample came in. What does this synth sound like again? About to hear it. Okay, here we go. I'm feeling like another 4 bars of building here. Maybe that vocal sample comes back in to build up. And let's not sleep on these vocal samples that we chopped earlier. We should be using that throughout, actually. And this is the lower octave version, so let's use it. Let me copy this collection of chopped things. We got ourselves a nice little section here. Can do so much with a little. Remember, this started as just an 8-bar thing, and we haven't even added much to it. I'm gonna do a legato version of this and see how it goes. Now, this is our big drop here at bar 57. I wish we could do that longer. What I'm going to do is duplicate this instrument. And obviously we grab this from a sample. You can see this very long sample, but we could only grab a piece of it. What happens if I multiply it by 2? Now we're able to get a long version. I wasn't sure if it would sound good, but it doesn't sound too bad. Remember, every single sound in this beat is a LANDR sample. And we're about to add some more when we add in all our effects and stuff. What is this bell that I have here? Alright. We must have sampled this. Yeah, I think we did. We sampled that for the lead, and we also sampled this too, so we don't need that. That's all extra. All right, so we have spent all of the musical ideas that we originally had for this. But that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and consolidate this as one and see what happens if I put it 1 octave up. I'm not sure how it'll be. Sean says, love this. Thank you so much. Juan Carlos says, very dreamy. Thank you. Sounds very wave genre / label. Appreciate that. McCaffrey's going to go take Duncan out, as Duncan deserves. What's the difference between multiplying it by 2 and extending the note? It's the exact same thing. But, well, hold on. Let me back that up because I think I know what you're asking. So for the bass instrument, it's a good question. So the whole thing is we only have this section of audio from that whole sample that we can use, right? And when it's its original length, like it is up in this other track, it's very short, right? I'm playing this note. It's very short. If we do this, this is not just a one-shot sample. So if I hold the note, we get a bunch of crazy sound that we don't want, the rest of that. So you could have it on the timeline and like warp it and stretch it, but in simpler, you could just multiply or times or divide by 2. So divided by 2, obviously in half. It's the other way around. Whatever, I am getting confused. One makes it twice as long, one makes it half as long. Diana, what's going on? I'm good. I'm glad you can make it. Thanks for showing up. How are you doing tonight? All right, I did say I was going to try this an octave up, but I'm cool with that. I honestly think this can go on its own track though, because I might have to EQ it a little differently. Pull out some of those mids. The reason I'm doing this EQ like this is because I'm looking for frequencies that I don't like. So if I hear them very loudly, turn that EQ up, I can subtract them out. Play the back. I'm looking for the frequencies that make it a little too heavy. Okay, that's totally fine. Thanks, now I learned something so much so far. Good. This is like the outro, so I guess this whole track is kind of in the bag arrangement-wise, which is good because we only have a little bit of time left. And we'll run this track through the AI mastering as well. Quick thing, when I add a sample to simpler and play it in a lower octave, it plays super slow. Is there a way I can time stretch to say the same length? Yes, there is. And let me show you that in the case of this bass. So yes, that will happen when you're sampling things. If you play them higher, they'll play faster. If you play them lower, they'll play slower. The way to combat this, I'll demonstrate that really quick. So see how fast that plays? What if I go down 2 octaves or 3 octaves? Plays through it slower, right? But the higher I go, the faster it plays through that sample. The way to get around that is by warping that button right there, warp. Now it doesn't matter where I am. Now, the further we get away from the original sample's pitch, the rougher it's going to sound. And also, there's several different warp modes here, depending on what kind of instrument you're using. Usually for like melodic harmonic instruments, I bounce between tones or complex pro. This one I have on tones. So warping is what you're looking for, DJ Aux. Click that warp button, turn it on, and select the proper warp mode. Oh, I haven't even heard that synth yet. It was turned off. Don't we feel like this could be wider? Why did I make it mono? Let's filter this in though. Peace out, Drunk Bishop. Minus 12 dB for headroom. That's what I say, so it's pretty safe. That's what this non-mixing and mastering engineer says. Minus 12 for headroom. It's really helped me improve my mixes. All right, we're gonna do another, we won't do a drop like we did in the last one. Instead, I'll use a Max for Live device called Pitch Drop. And we'll do kind of like this tape stop effect. Yo, Samuel Messiah came in and said one thing and then left. What's up with that? That's okay. That's okay. All right, pitch drop. It's a max for live effects. It's going to give us the effect of a tape stop, essentially. I'm going to hit the activate button. I'm automating. Remember, we talked about automating earlier. I'm going to do it on... Whoa. Let me figure out what beat I want to do it on. Still got to do some filtering and effects and stuff. One right there. Before, obviously. All right, so you probably heard it subtly happen there on one instrument, but now I'm going to put that on every single instrument. And since I automated that button, when I paste it on to other tracks, it will also automate. It will copy that automation over as well, which is very convenient. I'm doing it to everything. So now that I put that on everything, this is what it sounds like. Boom. If I had to work with one DAW that wasn't Ableton, what would it be? I don't know. That's a weird question. I don't have any experience with other DAWs, so I can't really say. I did some stuff with Serato Studio. That was fun. Peace out, DJ Ox. Thank you so much. I'm glad I could help tonight. I will see you on the next one. Thanks, DJ. I'm finding that I rarely use piano, but when I do, it also always makes it very emotional. Andre Von Zark, hello, I'm well. Thank you. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Oh, sorry, Drunk Bishop. I didn't read that whole question. For your master track, do you also leave -12? No, the master track just stays at 0. Never move this master track. Also, some tracks I work on, I keep an eye on this master because even having -12 of headroom isn't enough to keep it out of the red. Why are you frustrated, Andre? Talk to us. Benjamin says, I saw your video where you tried the OP1. What was your feeling on it? The workflow was frustrating, but I only used it for like an hour. So I obviously see a ton of people do amazing things with it. So obviously I can't say, oh, the OP1 is terrible. So what do I say? I just say it didn't really... I tried it and thought, wow, of course I'm always looking for things to spend a ton of money on. Wouldn't it be nice to have? It's aesthetically pleasing too. It looks like a cool device. A lot of people do a lot of cool things with it. So when I played with it, I was really hoping that I would love it. I did not though, unfortunately. So I'm going to actually cut this track off right when that bell comes in. I think it'll be nice because that bell gets a little solo moment. There we go. What do we have going on in the master? So it's interesting. We're using the AI mastering by LANDR with these like lo-fi tracks, but I think it's still good because especially if you're looking to get your tracks up in volume, up to a professional like level, matching with everything else. I think it's still important. All right, remember last time this got to come way down. All right, this is our little bridge kind of section. We've got our synth here that we definitely want to filter in. So let me grab the auto filter. So I guess in this stage, it's all about how do you change effects, like changing effects over time to build up to certain moments. Logic. So I had a failed stream today and Logic didn't save the song. You know what I used to do all the time? I used to work with kids. I still do on occasion, but I used to work full time, like basically running a music studio for teens and kids and stuff. And what I would do every time I have to sit down and demo like beat making, so to show them how to do it themselves, and just I wanted to show them that I could do it really fast, make something really dope really fast. And what that does for anybody is be like, oh wow, I want to be able to do that. And it shows like if I can do it really fast, yes, I have all this skill, but that means like, okay, it is possible for you to also do this. So what I would do is I would build up this like dope track in like 10 minutes. And then at the end of it, and this is for you, Andre, I'd be like, all right, now you guys are going to go do it. And at the end of the session, it'd be so dope. They'd all be like jamming out to it, whatever. And I would exit the project and I would click don't save. And they would always be so like mad or like flabbergasted that I didn't save. And the point of it is you're all producers out there. You're all perfectly capable. Your skills, like you're not relying on luck to do what you do. You're relying on these skills that you've built up over time and you've spent a lot of time building up. So like if you lose a project or something, like yes, that's super frustrating. But at the end of the day, you have the skill and the technical ability to recreate that without a doubt. You did it once, you can do it again. And if you were relying on just luck, I don't know what to tell you. But you've got the skill, Andre. So if you didn't save the song, you can always go back and remake the song. It's frustrating, yes. It's time consuming, yes. But you can do it. But I think a lot of the times, especially when we're first starting, we think that we're just getting lucky. And like, oh, finally, I made a good track. I'm just lucky. Like, no, like you made a good track because you have been improving your skills and getting better. And if you're diligent about keeping track of those skills, you will continue to get better. You will continue to grow. All right, I'm going to do an interesting thing here. I think it'll be interesting at least. I'm going to cut this. This is our like outro section now. Maybe it doesn't need to pause for so long. I want to jack the reverb there. Jack the reverb. Let's copy that. So I can literally just copy that automation here. Same with this. There we go. What's up, Rio Tanaka? What's good? All right, I'm getting lost in the sauce here, as they say. So let me keep working. Overall, I like how this one's turning out a little bit better than the previous one, but you know, that's just me. We're gonna filter out this vocal sample over time. Now, I believe I also want to filter it in here. You know, the one thing that's going to make this is the automation. How are we transitioning to the outro, though? I'm hearing, because we left a little loose with the quantization, I'm hearing a little click there. What's that? Somewhere else in here. Is MPC beats enough to make a hip hop type beat? Yes. Thank you for saying it sounds great, Ami. Especially hard to see your progress when you're first starting out too. It's easy to think you're getting lucky when you make something good in the beginning. I agree. And you know what's crazy? I know I push the social media thing all the time because I want you all to follow my example. I think it's a great way to build an audience and a community as an artist. But the other benefit of documenting and posting is that I can go back and watch my videos from 4 years ago and cringe at myself. But cringing at myself is valuable because I can point and say, wow, I've gotten so much better. Like I can definitively say I've gotten so much better. Whereas like we've been streaming for about 12 weeks now. I don't know if I've gotten better at streaming or if the streams have gotten better over the past 12 weeks. But I have a feeling if I go back and watch the first stream that we did when we started this whole streaming schedule, I would be able to see that it has gotten better. Either numbers-wise or quality-wise or what I was doing on stream. So that's why like documenting in social media is actually very helpful. If you make beat videos or if you just at least post your tracks to SoundCloud, you have a running archive that you can always go back and revisit. And it's not just important to share it with other people, it's important to go back and reflect on what you do. So you can give yourself that pat on the back because we don't often give ourselves the credit we deserve. All right, let's see if we can do some effects risers and stuff in about 10 minutes. Actually, let's bring in the crickets here. What's everybody got planned for their Sunday? Making music, or is it like a chill day? I'm gonna try to have a chill day. I got something I gotta work on. But I'll see if I can procrastinate till Monday. But if I procrastinate till Monday, then I'll be stressed about it all Sunday. So, you know, it's kind of how it goes. See how I feel in the morning. Where can I start making hip hop beats? Like, can you suggest me a certain video? Nope. Just go on YouTube and watch a bunch of people make hip hop beats. There's no one video that's going to be like, oh, that's the one. It doesn't work like that. And then make stuff. Don't just watch a bunch of YouTube videos. Sit there, take notes, or have your DAW open at the same time. And make music. Too many people con themselves into thinking that they're being productive by watching YouTube tutorials and realize that they're just watching it for entertainment purposes and you're not actually doing anything with it. Be truthful with yourself. It's okay to consume things for an entertainment level, but are you learning anything? Are you telling yourself you're learning something when you're not really? Are you telling yourself you're being productive when you're not actually being productive? It's like when you have something to do and then all of a sudden you start cleaning the house and you're like lying to yourself saying like, oh yeah, you gotta clean the house. It's like, no, you're just avoiding the thing you have to do. Peace and love. That's what this place is all about. Self-love. You all know. I mean this so that I say harsh things sometimes so that you all can hopefully be better producers in the future. Because I want you to be better producers in the future. That's the thing. Let me put this vocal sample here. Should come in here, I think. That should go there. And I'm going to get rid of that because that doesn't need to be there. Nice little fade out here. Right. Now, I'm also able to work this fast because this is my live template, right? Like I've got these audio tracks here ready because I know I'm going to add a bunch of effects. So let me go ahead and duplicate that a bunch of times. And let me delete everything that I'm not using. It looks like this track is going to be 100% the LANDR samples because I didn't use any other plugins, which is cool. The crickets in reverse. It's not really going to sound like much, but I'll do it. I'll humor you. Hold on. Duplicate it. Crop it. And reverse it. Couldn't reverse because it's being analyzed. You can barely tell. It's like a bowed thing, so you can't really tell, you know? Probably going to chill mostly. Might watch some streams and play around with my Arturia. Nice. I'm super beginning, so my MPC Beat software be enough. Omi, you're not allowed to ask if it's enough anymore. You have to do what you can with what you have. You can always have more. Always. I could always have more. Look at all this gear behind me. Look at all the gear that you all can't even see here. I could always have more. But I'm doing what I can with what I have, and that's what I've always done, and I've built on it, so I got more and more and more and more. But you have to start building from the foundation. Mateo says, "Hey TAETRO, what do you think about making a beat every day? I think it's a good habit to be in." Peace out, Vasi. Thank you so much. 6 a.m. at your place. Wow. Good morning. Love you, your channel. Any suggestions where to listen? Stuff like this. Chilled Cow. Yeah, Chilled Cow's great. There's a lot of good Spotify playlists that I listen to. Oh no, I always find those. I always judge it by the picture. To be honest, on YouTube, there's some good like 50-minute long mixes that have nice like Starry Night vibe as like an anime clip. I think those are always good. All right, guys, I gotta focus. We gotta finish this track. Now, if I go into my samples, I don't have any collections. I should have collections. What if I make a new collection? Can I add my samples to it? So if I go to my downloads, this is actually good to maybe experiment with and show off. So this is LANDR. Remember that they're the sponsors of the streams. Thank you, LANDR. Shout out to LANDR. Making it so I can do these streams, which is great. It looks like, yes, I'm going to select all the white noise sounds and stuff that I downloaded for the last project. I'm going to reuse them here. I don't see any need to really find new ones. And it's also in the interest of time. So we did that. I selected the 6. I'm going to add to my collection, my effects. Oh, what happened? I thought it was going to work perfectly. Let me try to add 2. It doesn't want to add it. Oh, well. Well, in theory that works well. Probably it's just a little bug at the moment. Wonder why. Let's see what happens if I create a new collection. That'll work. FXX. Darn. All right, it's a bug, but I'm sure our friends at LANDR are working on it. It would be good to show off though. But in theory, you just add it to a collection. I'm sure if I like restart my computer or restart the plugin or something, it would work. That's usually how it works. But for now, I'm just going to go into LANDR, grab all these white noises and use them in this project. I'm going to use a lot of reverb on them because this is a bit of a spacier track. Oh, we have our exhale as well. That'll come in handy. And then we'll run it through the mastering chain. Thank you all so much for watching all night. This has been fun. This has been a very productive stream because we're going to have 2 finished tracks by the time we're done. I'd say this one is going to sound a lot better than the last one. I don't know. That's just what I think. All right, let's do it. So obviously want to... I don't think we need a riser there yet. Maybe it would be good to have one here. Oh, but there kind of already is with the vocal sample. I want to lower that, whatever that sound was. Not that one. There's another one. It's like a shaker sound in here somewhere. Where is it? Like happens one time. That's it. This one. I want that so quiet. Will you save this live to watch later? Yes, you will be able to watch it. You should go onto my channel, look at the videos, and see all the other lives that have been that are there on my channel as well, and go back and watch those. They're definitely worth watching. Got that. Cool. Let's see what we need here. Probably some white noise. But again, I'm going to put this on its own track because obviously it's going to be way louder. Ah, too loud, too loud. And let's completely wash it out with reverb. I'm grabbing Cathedral for whatever reason. And obviously I want that to happen here. Let's repeat it. Not repeat it, but reverse it. Now we have that drop there where that one bell happens, so let's cut there. And let's do a proper cut, so turn that whole track off. Nightbot just dropped the stream schedule in the chat. That's every week you can tune in. Another thing to notice when you're doing these drops, listen to this track carefully. The reverb tail comes back in because the track turns back on. So for safety, I'm just going to do this. So relax sound. I want a midnight snack. Me too. But it's not midnight yet, so I can't. Let's repeat this. Do that there. I know I'm going to want a transition here for sure. Kind of keeping this one chill. That's not the right thing to have there. I think that would do better here probably. You do need permission to use other people's beats as music. Oh, my friend. Google is your friend. You can find samples like subscribing to a sample service like LANDR. And you get lots of samples like this whole track was made from. Or you can Google free samples. No, you cannot take somebody else's beats and music. If you spend your time looking for shortcuts, you're gonna wish you hadn't, because doing things the right way takes less time than trying to find a shortcut. Even though at first it doesn't feel like it. Oops, what did I just do? I haven't used this one in a while. Oh, I forgot we did the tape stop. That's gonna work perfectly. But same issue, I want to cut that before it does that little fade. And obviously we want a nice satisfying crash there. Or noise. Let's reverse that back. Take the fade off. Also, Omi, all the MPC beats comes with sounds. Just use what you have. So many people get so far ahead of themselves, like, you already have something. Use what you have. There are some people that give free sample packs. Totally, that too. Just a matter of Googling. Thanks so much, Nina. I appreciate it. Have a good night. Thing about it is it's always easier to get stuff than it is to learn and improve. You know what I mean? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna use that breath again. And I have the perfect way to use it. Need to make a new track. Bring it down. Exactly how we're going to use it. Let me get that right on the beat though. Okay. And now the plan is to... Wait, what did I just do? That's what we want to do. We're going to replace it with just that breath. Let's reverse this. It's an interesting outro. All right, probably one last riser there. And a very quiet white noise downlifter there. Boom. You have writer's block 666? No such thing. Sit down and write the worst beat that you've ever written. There's no such thing as writer's block. Show me your 100 bad beats. If you can't show me 100 bad beats, then you don't have writer's block. You can physically move your hand. You can physically put on the keys. You can physically put it on the mouse. You can physically draw in notes. Whatever your approach is, you don't have writer's block. Force yourself to do it. Actually allow yourself to make a bad beat. I wouldn't say writer's block is a joke. That's kind of a harsh way of saying it. I would say it's just not usually a real thing. I understand being creatively frustrated. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a break. But it's also a matter of we can convince ourselves that, oh, we have this block that we just can't get through. No. Force yourself to make a bunch of bad beats. If you have, unless you're physically incapable, you can sit down and write a Merry Little Lamb beat. But yeah, being uninspired is totally natural too. So sometimes it's just about discipline. You know, if you don't feel like going to work, at the end of the day, you still get up and go to work. So you have that discipline. Or we realize we're not saving lives here with the music situation. Let's export this and then we'll run it through the mastering chain. We're not it's not life or death here. What we're doing is what I'm trying to say. So you can take a day off. You can take 2 days off. You can take a week off and then come back to it feeling refreshed, you know? I'm exporting. Let's not forget we got the J37 on here. I think I'm going to leave the J37 off. And I'm going to bring my hi-hat down. Now look at the master, folks. Let me turn this off. Okay, look at the master. This is our loudest part of the song. That's where the master's at. Not anywhere really near. It's approaching that line, but it's not. That's what they're talking about when they say headroom. Need headroom. Does that synth need to be louder? I like this beat. All right, I'm saving it. And then I'm going to export it, and then we're going to run it through LANDR's AI mastering. And don't forget that you can get 35% off LANDR. All of these samples, by the way, are from LANDR. So 35% off the samples and the mastering. First 100 subscribers to use the code in the description. Please use it. Support the stream. Support the sponsor, and you're supporting me. All right, cool. Let's do that. We'll call this R1. Boom, and we're ready. Yeah, we're ready to do it. Some Bitwig users here? Anybody? Sorry, just logged on. Can you start over? Yes, JPZY. Let me just delete everything and I'll start right over. You got it. Yeah, but to further, because Yurik says when you start creating and moving your hand, it starts flowing eventually. Yes, but also every time you sit down and make something, it doesn't have to be good. That's the only reason like you're feeling like you have a block is because you've told yourself that you have to sit down and it has to hit a certain level when really maybe you're just sitting down to learn something. Maybe you're just sitting down as an outlet. Maybe you're just sitting down or whatever. If you have zero expectations of what you're going to make when you sit down, then you won't feel like you have creative block because you have zero expectations. You can't expect that every time you sit down, you're going to make a banger. What's your biggest song you ever produced? Omi, it's the wrong questions, my friend. That's the wrong question. We're not in this business to write like one big song. We're not like trying to find the quickest way to find the biggest success. We're in this because we're artists and musicians and we just like enjoy the process. So don't spend all your time looking for free samples and trying to find an easy way or trying to find the best DAW or whatever, or worrying about making your biggest song. Just love the process of making music. That's what I got to say, Omi. You got to reframe your thinking around some of this. I can tell from the questions that you've been asking. With peace and love, because I want you to be successful. All right. We've exported that track. I'm going to bring up the LANDR. Did I exit out of my... I exited out of my web browser for what? Now he's yelling at us? Yes, Jaz, I'm yelling at you. You hear me? Stop saying you have writer's block. No DAW is better than any other DAW. Stop looking for free stuff. Stop looking for somebody to answer your exact questions and sit at your computer and make something. That's what I'm saying. That's what you got to do. That's all it is, my friends. All right, I'm an opening LANDR mastering at the moment. And then we'll do it. Mom, I'm scared. Good. You should be. This is why I like doing live streaming, because you all come to my videos and comment these crazy questions under the videos that I'm never going to answer, because it's like, first of all, did you watch the video? Second of all, did you look up the 5 other videos I have on the subject, et cetera, et cetera? Yes, with peace and love. Always with peace and love, Andre. But the live streaming, we can talk in real time and I can call you out. Like, I'm here to call you out. If you ask a crazy question, I'm here to help. Like, if you have technical stuff, whatever, we've done a lot of that tonight. Like, oh, what about this? What about that? Click on warp, whatever. Yes, I'm down to do that. But like, some of us just need a reality check. I've needed many reality checks in my life. And I've been grateful to have so many mentors in my life that have given me reality checks, that have told me that I'm wrong, that have told me I need to get it together. Friends that hold me accountable. All that. Not all of us have people that do that for us. Not all of us know other artists or other musicians. Like, even if you're just, maybe you have supportive people around you, but they don't know like the nuances of music and art and what you do and creating. All right, here's the track we just made. We just did. Yeah. Let's upload it. So maybe they don't know those things, so they're happy to support you, but they just don't have the tools to do it properly or give you the tough love. Because most of us are surrounded by people, we do music, surrounded by a lot of people that don't do music. So like anything we do is like, oh, that's great, that's awesome. So they give you a lot of positive feedback, which is good. They're trying to be supportive, but they don't know enough to give you like constructive feedback, and they want to just encourage you. They think they're being good friends or good whatever by just encouraging you. Which they are, but you should always be looking for mentors, people in your life that are going to push you, that are going to give you the tough love advice, you know? Green Jesus says it's funny because it's the same questions every live stream. If they would watch the entire VOD, they'd get it. I agree. That's a good point, because I get a lot of the same questions, not only in my live streams, but on a lot of my videos. And it's sad because it's just a giveaway that people aren't doing the research that they need to do. But also, if it's your first live stream, there's a lot of people that find this live stream for the first time. So I am sympathetic to that. Like, I'm okay with answering questions for people the first time. But there's a lot of repeat offenders in my comment section. By the way, our track is uploading and it's processing. I think it's processing. Didn't it say processing there before? And we will hear the master very soon. But yeah, it's a lot of people that don't put in the work, because I'll do like fun little videos I'll do like fun beat making videos, like straight up just me making a beat and it's cool and it's fun music. And it'll get 400,000 views, right? And everybody in the comments will ask, how did you make this beat? How did you make this beat? Please show us how to make this beat, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll put up a tutorial on how to make the beat and it gets 60,000 views. And these are like real numbers from a real example. So something is not adding up, right? Like, do people actually want to know how to do it? Or when they're provided the tools to learn how to do it, do they kind of throw their hands up and say it's too hard? And I'm empathetic to that. In the moment, it's hard to push yourself to do more, to get better. Not everybody's ready for it in every moment. Not everybody has a supportive environment. Not everybody has the means. Not everybody has the capacity. People have other things they got to worry about. And I'm empathetic to that. But just remember, not everybody can do it. It's a mindset of resourcefulness. I agree. It's not just a mindset of resourcefulness, but of abundance too. Like, we all have different limitations, whatever they may be, financial, gear, etc. What happened? Oh, did it already do it? Master. What do I do now? Oh, it's preparing. See progress. There we go. Gear, financial, time. These are all things we can be limited by. But you got to work with what you have. People that get the free DAW, use the free DAW. That's all you can have. What are you going to do? Sit around and pout that you don't have something better? You could. Yeah, Omi, I know you're new here and you're welcome here. And like, if like, you're going to continue to grow, like you're on the, I don't know, like I missed the time when I was at the beginning of the pathway and I asked a lot of questions. So I didn't even know what direction I was going. You know, that's why I'm empathetic to it, because I've been in the same position, you know? So many people, the other tell is like, so many people come to my videos, buy a MIDI keyboard and then comment like weeks later and say, I bought this thing and I haven't touched it because I don't even know what's happening. So people will get like super inspired watching videos of people using gear. And then so much so that they go buy the piece of gear, not even thinking that they're going to have to learn how to do something to use it. You know what I mean? It's like, if you don't have 2 or 3 things you've tried for a problem, you probably shouldn't. Yeah. And also a lot of people, the master is ready, but I'll just finish this point. A lot of people that assume that the problems they run into are not their own fault. Like, I don't know how to install a plugin. Oh, this plugin's just super complicated. Or Ableton's not doing XYZ. Oh, Ableton's just super complicated. Or, oh, my computer sucks because it's not working this way. When really it's like you didn't do all the troubleshooting stuff and it's probably user error. I always assume that everything is user error. And 90% of my problems are user error, aka my fault. So when I work through them from that mindset and that perspective, I try to rule out user error. 90% of the time it is user error. And then when I've satisfied that it's not my fault, then I go and try to find the answer. You know? That's what I think. Is it true? Eventually, most of the questions is true. Eventually, most of my questions got answered without me ever asking. That's the thing too. Most people want their question answered in that moment. When the thing is, like, if you just, like, so many people like commented on a recent post I had wanting to know the Ableton tips, Ableton Live tips, or like how to make music in Ableton Live, like very general stuff. It's like, bro, I'm here 3 days a week and I've been here 12 weeks now. What's 3 times 12? 36 streams of me just straight up making music in Ableton Live. And you're asking me questions about like how to make music in Ableton Live when that's what I do every stream. So people want their question answered in that moment, when really if you just sit back and absorb, your questions will get answered. That's why the teacher at the front of the class, when you go to ask that question before they've even finished the instructions, they say, put your hand down. I'm not done finishing the instructions. I'm going to answer your question before you even ask it. That's where that comes from. That's how it is. Okay, we mastered it. We have a preview. Ready? Let's listen. Oh. I don't know why the volume popped up there. So this is a perfect example. Cool Guy says Ableton Lite does not support plugins. Yes, it does. It supports all third-party plugins. It just has some limitations and is much more limited than Pro. Yes, it's much more limited than Suite is the name of the Pro version is what you're talking about. I know what I want. I know I want Ableton Suite, but struggle with how to do Lite. Yeah, you struggle with it, but it's possible to do what you want to do with Lite. I can guarantee it. It's very loud, right? Got this on the warm style. Let's switch to open. It's much brighter. Now I kind of like warm better. We don't need high intensity. Let's go back and listen to that original. What a difference. Let's volume match. Is it going to make the monitor? Much more dead the original is. Yeah, warm is better. Oh. All right, we're going to do it on warm, medium intensity. Boom. Let's create that master and let's see how long it takes. What time is it? 09. Got it. All right. And we're mastering, folks. Let's get it going. I'll let you know when it completes. So let's chill here while that happens. We'll keep going on the chat and we'll chill for the end here. 1 a.m. feeling like making a beat now. That's great. Video is super inspiring. That is the best part about doing the streams is a lot of people get inspired to make stuff. And that's the most productive I can be on these streams. If I can just inspire you to go make something, even if you don't learn anything new. Maybe not an appropriate question. I don't know what I'm doing. What was the question? I am worried the monitor will fall down since they are heavy. I don't even know what that means, man. Come on. What? Anyway, the recent video you did on drum pads and keys got answered on an older stream, I think. I had an aha moment and was hyped. Yeah, that's a good point, Pendolse, because a lot of concepts you hear me repeat. And the reason you hear me repeat them is because people keep asking. So I'll keep answering the questions. What headphones am I using? These are the JBL Club 1s. They're very bassy. Got a good bass response. Yeah, sometimes people need a specific video for things. That's why I did that specific video on how to use pads and keys, because I'm sure I've answered that question other places. But if people don't find it, oh, master complete. How long did that take? Not long at all. 2 minutes. We love that. Let's listen back to it. Let's get it. LANDR, folks. You can get this mastering service as well. 35% off. Please use the link in the description. There's a code as well for all of you to get 35% off. Wait, I want to see the waveform. There we go. Look at that. Look at the difference between the master and the original. Look how thin it is. So much more full on that master. I love that we get to see that. That's a great visualization. Also, more people buy gear. More people get into music production every single day. So I'm always getting new audience members because more people pick it up. Hey, what's up, Ray? Nice to see you. I have not used Ozone JPZY. You're a kind man, smart at music production. Thank you, Water Homie. Ever used the Blue Yeti? Yes. It's a great starter USB mic. Very bright, very sensitive. speakers if possible. If they're on stands or on your desk, they should be fine. I don't understand what kind of situation they're in that they're gonna fall. Love this master though. Where do you look for inspiration? Movies? Other music that I like? Video games? I like this track a lot better than the first one. What do you think, chat? Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, I think you should be fine, Water Homie. Don't worry too much. Thank you, Hunter. It's definitely more full now. All the kind words. Keep us posted. I hope your monitors don't fall. I don't think they will. You just picked up an MPK Mini. Would you recommend starting out with software included or try Ableton or something? Pick one. If you have the ability to just pick up Ableton, I would do that. So going to be a lot more resources for it. So I think that's important. But there's also MPC Beats Academy, which is like Akai's YouTube thing. So you have that to watch too. So if you can afford Ableton, like get Live Light or something, it's worth it, I think. You guys like that beat? That was pretty good. I'm going to run it back in the background for now. Shout out to LANDR. I'm going to download that. It's mine. Oh God, what do I do? Help. I'm just gonna save it to my desktop, and then you just download it from the site. So it's that easy. What did that whole process take? Probably like 10 minutes round trip from uploading it. It processes it, it listens, and then it masters it in 2 minutes, which is pretty dope. Creates a final master. So if you want to get 35% off LANDR, my friends, support the sponsor, support the channel, get 35% off all the sounds. Every single sound in this beat was from LANDR's sample library. I cannot stress that enough. You can do so much with samples. A lot of you are working with like Ableton Lite or whatever. Well, guess what Ableton Lite has? Simpler, which is the sampler that I use even though I have Ableton Live Suite. And I put these samples in, and now I've got a ton of cool instruments because I just sample them all, and I don't need cool plugins. I'm telling you, even the sound of silence. That roll in the background. All right, we're going to chat the rest of the night, folks. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you came for the music making, etc., we're done. We're just going to chat now. On your way out, click the link and just learn a little bit more about LANDR. It's that first link in the description. And you can use the code that's there, TAETRO_LANDR_ 35 off to get 35% off the samples and the mastering. Can't express it enough. Benjamin Demers, do you have a video on how to use Simpler? No, but I use Simpler in like every single live stream. So, and I explain it pretty much in every single live stream. So going back and watching those is the best way to just soak in the process. I'm new on this. Oh, I have a sampling video. It's called like how I work on samples or something, Benjamin. You should be able to find it. I think I have it. I'll chat and I'll answer some questions as we head out here. I'm new to this, but this is a special way to connect the Mini Mark III to a Launchpad X. You don't connect, the MIDI controllers connect to the computer, they don't connect to each other. You gotta use controllers with software. They don't have their own built-in sounds, nothing like that. This turned out pretty good for both tracks. Thank you, Drunk Bishop. Yeah, I like the first one better. I mean, I like this one better, not the first one. Good live. I loved it. Thanks. Oh, maybe make sure you subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss another one. So you can tune in for more, I should say, because we'll be back live again on Tuesday. We're live every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I was curious. This is my second stream, and I don't see you use the launch key keyboard. I still use it. It doesn't really matter what keyboard you use. Crispin, I have a whole video on 808s. You should go watch it. Heading out. It's 1 a.m. over here. Great stream. Thank you, Star Stuff. Thank you for becoming a member. So, is this master from LANDR up to industry standards? That's good enough in your opinion for you to release it? Yeah, I would release this. I would probably do one more pass at the mix and then re-upload and master again. But this is good, in my opinion. I use the Akai MPK Mini a lot, Water Homie, and everybody who is wondering, because it gets more engagement because more people have the Akai MPK Mini. So more people click on videos with the Akai MPK Mini. And to me, it doesn't matter what controller I use anyway. I have them all, so I'll just use whatever makes sense, you know? I never do notifications, but I'm making an exception for your channel because this was pure gold. Thank you, Hewitt. I appreciate that. Yeah, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we are live. I'm even live on ADSR's channel on Fridays. So we do an interview show, a talk show on Tuesdays. Sometimes we have guests. Sometimes we do call-ins. That's during the day. And then we do an evening stream that's music making like this. This is fun. Random question, but did your skull come with a bass stand? The light? Yeah, it's on a bass stand. It's on a white stand. The button is on it to turn it on and off. That's where the plug is. I'm gonna go off this chat window. I haven't done wide cam today. Hello, wide cam. That's looking awfully blue. Welcome to the studio. All right, man. Just curious because I saved up for all my equipment. Worried I made a bad pick with launch key. Did not make a bad pick. Nice stream, dope beats. Thank you, Yurik. I kind of like pads more because I'm a drummer, but yeah, any controller is fine. Yep. Oh. I bought this for myself because my birthday is coming. It's a Daniel Arsham piece. It's a keychain. It's Pikachu. I don't know how well you can see this, by the way. Probably not well. He does very big pieces for like museums and stuff. See the detail in it. I really love it. I don't know the best way to show it, but it's cool. So happy birthday to me. Early birthday, I would say. Yeah. One. But yeah, I'll be doing a bonus stream on my birthday. That's in 8 days. That's on Sunday the 18th. Do I have any Funko Pops? Yes. Jolteon is right up there. I also have a Cubone. And I ordered a Mew, but it got delayed. I don't know what's up with that. What's going on with my hand? Oh, I was testing something out today. Something to do with lights. So I had drawn something on my hand. Apologies. Peace and love. You are such a hard worker, man. Hope you get a chance to relax. Thanks. Sometimes I do. Getting rid of my launch key. I like the launch pad. Cool. To each their own. Happy early birthday, says Crystal. Thank you. I appreciate it. Stop saying that in chat. That's so inappropriate, Joseph McCaffrey. How do we ban a mod? Do I have any Funko? Oh, yeah, I already answered that. Cubone, Jolteon. I really only like the Pokemon ones. I don't like many other Funko Pops. There's a whole Seinfeld set that I think would be freaking amazing, but it seems like a little intense. Like, should I really buy the 8-piece Seinfeld Funko Pop set? Water Homie says, I feel like I'm drowning trying to learn. I feel others swim and create these dope beats. Stop comparing yourself to others. That's the first thing, Water Homie. Stop comparing yourself to others. Second thing, I just want to be able to have a bit of fun. Music and nothing, making nothing serious. Well, if you don't compare yourself to anybody else, you will have more fun. That's my answer to that. I like the new Eevee Pokemon. Is M1 MacBook Pro good for electronic music? I'm going to get one at some point. However, oh my gosh, my iPad just died, so I can't reach chat. I have to open chat over here. I'm going to get the M1 MacBook. I'm not in a rush to get it because a lot of things are still not compatible, and that often happens with whether it's Mac OS updates or whatever it is. So I'm holding off until it gets a little more stable. And also my computer's doing fine. I could just use a boost, I think. I think this year I will probably buy a new computer. Do you still use your M32 Complete Control? I saw you reviewed it. I'm looking into... Yeah, I still use it sometimes. I am not a very good example of like the common use case of the MIDI controller because I have every single one. I work with all the brands. I make content with all of them. It's just like, don't look at me using what I use every day and say like, oh, you got to do what I do, because it's not the same thing. Well, Water Homie, I would not laugh at your music because everybody is in their own place on their journey. And you should go back and watch some of our track reviews to see like the kind of feedback that people get, because everybody gets constructive feedback no matter where you are, no matter what kind of music you make. Like, I'm not comparing. It's not like there's a tier list of like, this is great music and this is bad music. It's like, no, everybody's on a different path in their journey, and I can give constructive feedback to all those people. DGAP says it's good, but I already sold my old one and now got a 16-inch Intel version, but I'm happy with it. Good. Yeah, I'm sure the Intel ones are fine. I mean, that's what I'm using now, so. My touch bar hasn't worked since like 3 months after getting this computer, so. Yeah, I'm looking for something with more keys. Okay, you guys are all talking about gear. Did it work, he says. Oh, have I ever done psychedelics? No. Oh, exclamation point, timeout mod, funny. Got him. Okay, my friends. That's it. We're over time today, but this is a very successful stream, I would say. We managed to finish and master 2 tracks using LANDR's AI mastering. One more shout out to the sponsor. Thank you so much for LANDR for sponsoring the past two streams. Please take advantage of the link in the description. Get yourself 35% off the samples and the mastering. I hope, I think LANDR's going to be pleased if some of you sign up. And I know that they were pleased with the first stream, so that's great. I hope you all enjoyed this. We'll be back on Tuesday making more music. I don't know what I'm going to focus on next week, but I'm sure I'll come up with it between now and then. I'm going to take it easy for the rest of the night, and tomorrow, the next stream is on Tuesday at 7 p.m. PST. Tune in. That's the next music making stream. I'll have a stream earlier in the day, but that might be an interview or a call-in show. 2 streams on Tuesday. I'll see you all then. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. The handles will be in the end screen so you can see them. Also, all the links you need are in the description. My Instagram, my Twitter. If you haven't yet, shout out to all the members who joined and support the channel and get cool perks like free sample packs, access to the Discord, members only live stream, etc. So shout out to all you members. Shout out to anybody who's also not a member, because that's okay too. Just make sure you like the video on the way out. ControlFreakClub.com if you want to get some cool music production, music producer merch, some swag, hoodies, t-shirts, etc. New drop coming soon. And everything like that. But thank you all so much. I see you all saying kind words in the chat. I appreciate you all. That's gonna be it. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been TAETRO. See you on Tuesday. Have a good one.